Also appearing, radio talk show host Larry Elder, Joe Walsh, Dan Proft, and Amy Jacobson. Tickets are on sale now at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Risk mitigation is an important consideration that smart companies pay attention to in today's complicated business climate. Some of the greatest risks occur when your company hires new employees or when you execute new business financial relationships. When your company hires, leases, or conducts financial transactions, decisions are critical. That's why veteran-owned and operated Global Verification Network is a company you should know. Startups to Fortune 100s trust Global Verification Network, and so should you. They're a background screening and investigative services company dedicated to expert, timely, and affordable background screening services for employment, tenant screening, and business due diligence. Global Verification Network is headquartered in Chicagoland, a federally recognized veteran-owned small business, and never offshores data like many competitors. To request your company's risk analysis without obligation or cost, visit globalverificationnetwork.com or call 877-695-1179 or visit them online at globalverificationnetwork.com. Global Verification Network, the risk mitigation experts, 877-695-1179.
5:08. Let's get a check on the morning commute in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte. Good morning, Jim.
Good Thursday morning, Mike. Start with some good news on the Eisenhower Expressway. Road work at Cicero Avenue has cleared. There were some outbound delays. There are no more. Traffic moves nicely on the Ike in both directions. Edens is clear, so is the Kennedy. Stevenson is okay. The Ryan has outbound work again today. From 87th to the split, the 3 left lanes, there's no significant delay. I-57, a little slow early inbound, 107th to the merge. 19 minutes from I-80 to the right. Bishop Ford, here's where we have some problems. Some overnight work has wrapped up near Michigan Avenue, but it's very heavy from 111th to Michigan. Looking at a travel time right now of 32 minutes from 8094 to Ryan. There is an outbound crash at Cottage Grove Avenue. Little road work still on the tri-state, but no tollway delays to report. Northwest Indiana is looking fine at this hour. Traffic, the service of Napa Auto Parts. This month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores, when you purchase a set of Napa brakes and rotors, you get up to a $50 discount code towards your favorite fan gear at Fanatics.com. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Heat wave continuing through Monday. Today mostly sunny and humid, high 93. Mostly clear and humid tonight with a low 71. A mostly sunny and humid day tomorrow, high 93, and a clear night with a low of 70. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
75 at O'Hare. Next news at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Mortgage Makeovers, a show walking you through stress-free mortgage options. Mortgage Makeovers, Sunday afternoons at 1 on AM 560 The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So you have an update on your harassment of the homeless?
Well, I drove by on Tuesday on the advice of Mike Scott to not let this go and to focus on what's going on in San Diego. So, and I'll tell you about San Diego in a second, but went by Wednesday. There were still a few tents up. or Tuesday, and then I went by yesterday, and victory, all of the tents are down. Thank you. So excited. So happy. And construction crews I spoke with, one guy had a hazmat suit on because they don't want to get hepatitis A. Because what's going on in San Diego and in Los Angeles is that 16 people have died in San Diego because of hepatitis A. And hepatitis A, in case people don't know, is when people defecate in public and urinate in public. And it's a disease that's spread person to person.
That's my breakfast.
I know. So if you don't shower, that can affect my health. It's one of those, it's a safety issue. It's a health issue. And 16 people have died. And now in Los Angeles, Mike, you can jump in here. They have cases in L.A. where they have just hosed down these tent camps because people are dying because of health reasons.
Yeah, 1,600 people have been sickened between San Diego and Los Angeles. It's been a health crisis for some time. They really don't know what to do other than to bleach the streets, literally
Bleach
power
the streets.
wash with bleach the streets, which is an effective deterrent. But it's a lot of man hours. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of cleanup.
And that's what they're doing at the viaducts at Wilson and Lawrence because people have called that place home for 2 years. So they're bleaching down the place and they're putting up these bike paths so that no tents will ever be allowed there again. I mean, because they're putting in an extra bike lane, Dan, so it's not wide enough to set up a tent. So they will never return to that area.
Course,
right. So
yeah,
I'm not kidding. I have a picture of my victory lap. I was snapping photos, so excited. It's gone. They're gone. They're in their shelters, thank God. They can come out during the day and loiter with their, have their tent city friend reunions and then go back into the shelters at night. But they cannot set up camp ever again.
It's a nice victory over defenseless homeless people. Yeah.
No, some of them suffered from mental illness and they just didn't want to go because they wanted the freedom of being outside. Well, with freedom there comes a cost. And the cost is they could have lost their lives because of health issues, because of hepatitis A.
I see. Nice spin.
It spread person to person. I was just thinking about the homeless.
The spin is, right, you were
an advocate for them.
You're protecting them.
Exactly.
Yeah. It wasn't all the cat calls and the
growling and
the eyesores of it and all that. It was you advocating for their long-term health.
Yeah, it's all about the children.
Boy, I tell you, that's pretty good. That is a pretty good Chicago Dem spin.
But I wonder,
you may want to think about a job at City Hall.
If we walked through that area so much, I mean, if somebody there had Hep A, we could have gotten Hep A too.
Hey, there's a bunch of people suffering in Puerto Rico. You want to go down there and push them around too while you're at it?
No, that's a different situation. That island was 100% without power this morning.
Yeah.
That is incredible. Did you see the images and the flash floods? And it is just it's something to see. And don't forget St. Croix and St. Thomas and St. John. I mean, it's devastating. They're already trying to recover on the Caribbean islands and the U.S. Virgin Islands, and they got slammed again.
The governor there, Rosello, who is just a placeholder until Luis Gutierrez relocates permanently. Ricardo Rosello said that it may take months to restore power to the entire island, and as you noted, the entire island, entire island without power.
That's 3.4 million people have no power. There's certain hotels that have generators, certain hospitals that have generators,
right.
But that's about it. And oh my God, my heart goes out to them. And I have a friend in St. John who, after Hurricane Irma, their looters went into the police station there and stole weapons and were just going into people's houses and robbing them. I mean, there's stories that you don't hear that are happening. And finally, the military moved in and stopped that.
Well, here you've got a curfew that's been imposed as well. I assume in part to try and prevent some of that with policing the streets while it's
because people are desperate.
Dark in the afternoon.
They need food. They need water. They don't know when the power's coming back on. I mean, it's scary times.
Marty in Naperville, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning. I got a solution to the homeless problem. Have them all come and live in Naperville. There's a guy who's lived in a tent in Naperville for the last 15 to 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's got computers. He's got electricity. He sure isn't starving, and he blames the city. He apparently took his business away 20 years ago, and nobody ever says anything to him. He just puts his tent up on Ogden and Naperville, and he's lived there for 20 years. So have them come and join in.
Okay, well, that's nice. That's very welcoming, Naperville. I mean, that's just steps from the Riverwalk.
It
So that's a
is.
nice place to put up
You know what?
tents.
I know who he's talking about. Have you ever seen it?
No.
The little guy, the little man in the tent.
The little man in the tent. No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that.
And
I don't
then-
know. I haven't seen that on any of the Chamber of Commerce brochures.
And then 2 years ago, I don't know if you remember this, somebody set fire to his tent. And I've
I
got
wonder
a
if it was
picture
Marty
here.
from Naperville.
Well, I don't know. It could have been somebody that was pretty mad, but there was they still haven't solved that arson. But then he regrouped and he got a new tent and set up camp in the same spot.
So how many of the homeless is your cult taking in?
Well, we're not taking in anybody, but we feed everybody on Tuesday nights. Okay, so no, they're not taking in anybody. They found homeless shelters. There were 3 shelters for them to choose from, and some Section 8 housing, which then they offered to pay their rent for the first 3 months.
No, it's great. I hope they get a super voucher so they can,
Super voucher.
live on my floor, rent free.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
That Naperville man who lives in a tent, his name is Scott Huber, and he has been there for years. I can't believe you haven't seen him on your way out to Wheaton. No? Okay. Forecast for today.
I'll look for him next time.
Yeah, stop by and say hi to Scott. Plenty of sunshine, but hot and humid. I mean, it's kind of uncomfortable out there. 92 degrees will be our high today. That was a record set back in 1970. And then tonight, humid, a low of 71. And tomorrow, lots of sunshine with record-breaking heat. Again, a high of 93 degrees. Let's get into our alarm detection systems. Traffic center, any roadways buckling? Here's Jim Telemonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. Thankfully, not yet. We're keep an eye on that as things heat up here. You wouldn't think at this point in September. We do have some delays. Things have eased a little bit on the Bishop Ford Freeway. There was some overnight work at Michigan Avenue, and it's still heavy from 111th to Michigan, but now the travel time has come down. It's about 21 minutes from 8094 to the Rhine. So that's about a 6-minute delay. I-57, you've got a 5-minute delay from 107th to the merge. Inbound Ryan, traffic's bunching up just a bit approaching downtown. Roadwork outbound from 87th to the split. The other Chicago expressways look good. Little roadwork on the Tri-State this morning, southbound from I-57 to past Dixie Highway. 2 left lanes are closed there. No tollway delays to report. And things are fine at this hour on I-80 and in northwest Indiana. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Gentlemen, when it comes to your health, do you know your numbers? You may know your blood pressure and cholesterol, but do you know your testosterone and prostate numbers? I know mine. Low T Center made it easy. You walk in, take a simple blood test, and with the convenience of their on-site lab, is able to get my results in minutes. And in honor of Prostate Health Month, Low T Center is offering a $50 testosterone and prostate level test in September. So, gentlemen, if you don't know your numbers, haven't made your deductible, or don't have insurance, you should take advantage of this limited time offer. I know at Low T Center, they'll take great care of you. Plus, it's quick, easy, and you'll get your results in about 20 minutes. Do yourself a favor and call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Prof sent you. That's 312-239-3427. Call now or visit them online at lowtcenter.com.
Change in the market shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. In fact, since World War II, we've seen a correction on average about once every 18 months. That's why Arlington Capital Management developed proprietary tools that help them to see what's beyond your investment horizon. Like an experienced ship captain uses tools to avoid stormy weather, Arlington Capital Management uses tools to guide you through market corrections before it's too late and help us decide when to capitalize on opportunity. Call Arlington Capital Management today at 855-471-5796 to learn how their active management systems can help you. Each day, they actively explore the market, our economy, and all the variables that affect your investments. Stormy markets never cloud their vision. The professionals at Arlington Capital Management use their tools and experience to guide them. Call Arlington Capital Management today at 855-471-5796 for a financial review. The number again is 855-471-5796 or learn more at arlington-capital.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm 75 years old, and I don't eat enough vegetables or fruit. And this is a great thing to do. And it seems that I have more energy. It seems that I take that, and I take a lot of blood pressure pills and what do you call it, cholesterol. But my doctor tells me, he said, no, you might cut the dosage down on your pills because what are you taking? I said, Balance of Nature. He said he didn't know what it was, so I told him, I said it's fruits and vegetables condensed into little pill form. He goes, well, whatever it is, it's doing you a lot of good.
Good health is only a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy celebrating Amy's victory over the homeless in Uptown.
No, the victory over removing the tent cities. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, not removing the homeless. It's all the way you word it, Dan.
Yes, I understand. Various ways to sell it. Mark on the South Side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Okay, now that the 10 cities are gone, we just talked about the hepatitis A. Don't you think there's a very good chance that somebody in that group of the homeless there was carrying it? Now they're going to go to the shelters, and aren't you in danger of having the same thing happen here as in California?
Well,
I very much doubt that the shelters did anything to screen these people or test them upon entrance.
The best way to stop the spread of Hep A is to wash your hands after you use the washroom, whether you use the washroom on the street or in a stall, or use hand sanitizer before you eat.
I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about the homeless people. Don't you think there's a very good chance that one, if not more than one, are carrying the hepatitis A around with them? So now you're going to bring them into the shelter, and I doubt very much that the shelter is testing these people that are coming in there. They don't have the time nor the resources to do it. So aren't you in danger of having the same thing here as in California with 1,600 people having it in California?
Yeah. Well, they do have showers in homeless shelters. I mean, it's a health issue. It's a hygiene issue. You have to wash your hands, use hand sanitizer before you eat, after you use the bathroom, and shelters do have that. So whether they choose to wash their hands or not, I don't know.
Yeah, but once you my point is not that. I get all that with the shelter part, having the facilities to wash and that. But my point is, don't you think there's somebody that left the tent city that is going to these shelters that is already carrying hepatitis A? That's my point.
Yeah.
Thanks for
I don't know.
Thanks for the call, Mark.
I'm not a Hep A specialist, just a Hep B specialist.
Probably. I mean, they need to process them like they did at Shawshank. That's the way to enter the homeless into the homeless shelter, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But by the way, Mike Scott directing our attention to the passing of Bernie Casey. Bernie Casey, dead at 78. So he played football for the Rams. He was a great comedic actor. He was really funny.
Oh,
Revenge of the Nerds. Remember,
yes, he was so good.
He was like the lambda guy.
That's right. Lambda.
And then also he was brilliant in I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. That black exploitation.
Oh, that was a funny movie.
Spoof film with the Wayans brothers and all that movie's hysterical. That was like Chris Rock's first role, I think.
Really? Oh.
How much for just one rib? That's my Chris Rock impersonation.
Do that again, please.
How much for just one rib? That's me doing Chris Rock.
Wow. You might want to work on that.
Yeah.
How did he die? Let's see. Well, I know his heart stopped. I got that part.
How about pay 10 cents to just pour it in my hands?
Mike, how did he pass away? Did his heart stop?
Justin, thank you. A very short illness. He was sickened briefly. He had just retained chairmanship of the Savannah College Art and Design, leadership of that growing school, and got sick very briefly after retaining that position. And it's unclear right now exactly what that is, but it was a short illness.
Oh, remember he was in Boxcar Bertha, Never Say Never Again, Revenge of the Nerds, that you said, in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Yeah. That's right.
Oh.
Many films.
Yes, Bernie Casey, rest in peace.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer. What are we going to be doing?
We'll talk about Jimmy Kimmel, a healthcare policy expert. He also apparently hosts a late-night talk show host. Mostly he's known for healthcare policy, but he also does a TV talk show. And he's opined on the Cassidy Graham or Graham Cassidy, depending on which senator you prefer, healthcare reform legislation, the GOP's last chance to do something akin to replacing Obamacare. And we'll have Kimmel's remarks.
And calling Casey a liar and the Republicans' last-ditch effort to save that Obamacare. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
75 degrees, cloudy skies. Winds are out of the east at 4. Humidity's at 82%. Pressure's on the rise. Chicago coming off a record-breaking day of hot weather. You know about that. But the National Weather Service says we'll be right back in the heat and humidity again today and tomorrow as well, breaking record highs for the end of September. Officials in Mexico City say thousands of buildings are damaged. They're unstable after Tuesday's powerful earthquake that killed at least 240. Search and rescue operations continue in those collapsed buildings. Mayor of Mexico City saying this morning more than 50 have been pulled alive from buildings that collapsed. Flash flood warning is in effect for all of Puerto Rico this morning. Because of Hurricane Maria's pouring rain, the National Weather Service is telling people to move to higher ground immediately. Puerto Rico's Governor Ricardo Rossello says power is out everywhere in the U.S. territory.
This is a unified bipartisan coalition in our delegation that's going to work hard and work together to ensure that the federal response is an ongoing one.
At Miami's Coast Guard Air Station yesterday, Florida Republican Senator Marco Rubio says he's gathering a working group to see how they might best help out the federal storm response for Puerto Rico. President Trump says he'll soon announce whether he's going to pull the U.S. out of the Iran nuclear deal. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson believes Iran is not living up to the spirit of the international agreement to scale back its nuclear program.
It's pretty difficult to say that the expectations of the parties who negotiated this agreement have been met. Perhaps the technical aspects have, but in the broader context, the aspiration has not.
Tillerson saying one of the expectations of the deal was that it would lead to greater peace in the region, something he does not believe that has happened. Interesting story out of the Dominican Republic this morning, where former Major League All-Star player Raul Mondesi is in serious trouble with the law. The one-time Dodgers Rookie of the Year and again Major League Baseball All-Star has been sentenced to 8 years in jail for violating the DR's laws regarding the public trust when he was mayor of his hometown in San Cristobal. Mondesi was found guilty of corruption and mishandling of public funds, ordered to pay $1.2 million back in restitution. His son plays for the Kansas City Royals. Amazon is looking into its algorithm this morning after the discovery that the frequently brought together feature was suggesting items that could be used to make a bomb. Channel 4 News in the UK noticing the issue just days after a homemade bomb injured dozens on a London Underground train. All of those items are legal, but together could be made into an explosive. The Illinois Supreme Court is scheduled to rule on whether former Chicago area police officer Drew Peterson was properly convicted of murder in the death of his third wife, Kathleen Savio. Authorities are investigating after a Chicago police officer's nephew was shot and killed on the south side. Isaac Harper was gunned down Tuesday night, sitting on his back porch near 97th and Green. A new study of the proposed GOP health insurance reform bill winding its way through Congress finds that Illinois may lose billions in federal funding by 2026. AM 560's David Stewart has a look at the numbers.
The study by Washington-based research group Avalier Health estimates that most states will take a severe financial hit under the Graham-Cassidy bill, which would reduce federal health insurance funding to states by a total of $215 billion by 2026. Illinois would lose $8 billion in that time. Governor Rauner.
I have expressed my concerns to members of Congress and members of the administration about the very significant negative impacts it can have upon the people in Illinois.
The bill is labeled as an Obamacare repeal, but it does more, changing the way federal support for Medicaid is distributed to states. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
A suburban Chicago police officer has filed a federal lawsuit alleging the police chief refused to modify her duties when she became pregnant and later forced her to take unpaid leave months before she gave birth. Jennifer Panettone sued the village of Frankfurt this week. Cubs' 7-game win streak comes to an end with an 8-1 loss to the Rays. Astros run their winning streak to 6 with a 4-3 victory over the White Sox. The news service of the Cook County Department of Public Health. Prevent mosquito bites and the diseases that they carry like West Nile and Zika. Fight the bite this fall by removing standing water, wearing repellent, and repairing torn window screens. Learn more at fightthebitecookcounty.com. 5:31. Check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher gets a bad feeling about the North Korea situation.
My instincts generally serve me pretty well. I'm going to just tell you flat out, I have a very bad feeling about what Kim Jong-un is up to. And it's on him. But I have a bad feeling about this little chubby, weird dictator of North Korea.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Right now with Galaxy, buy one cabinet, get one free. Visit us online at galaxyhome.com to schedule your free in-home estimate. Save an additional $500 when you book right now.
Daily stress is a big deal. Fact is, the terrible impact of stress is very deadly and shortens our lives. Stressed individuals attract diseases, just like blood in the water attracts sharks. Hi, this is Dr. David Kolbaba. I'm the show host of Health Quest Radio, the longest-running health news and science show in Chicago. And for over 33 years, we share practical concepts from a natural healthcare perspective to minimize the need for all those dangerous drugs and risky surgeries. Today, it's our dirt-cheap adrenal stress index test. No blood, just spit. You know, most people flunk on their first go-around signaling adrenal gland distress. And then following our stress-busting strategies, most individuals pass their second test with flying colors. So if you can spare a little spit, call and purchase your first dirt-cheap adrenal stress index test, and we'll hold that same special low price for your follow-up test. Call 800-794-1855. You can't get any cheaper than dirt cheap. 800-794-1855. And be sure to tune into Health Quest Radio this Saturday morning at 11.
Are you buying or selling a business or starting a business? Maybe you have legal problems with a business partner or employees, or are just drowning in new regulations. You need the support of a law firm that concentrates in a wide range of business law and tax matters. You need the corporate team at Kelleher & Buckley. Whether you're a local mom and pop shop, middle market business, or a large corporation or franchise, they provide cost-effective legal solutions to help your businesses thrive. The lawyers of Kelleher & Buckley focus on targeted legal advice tailored to meet the specific needs of your business. You deserve competent legal representation from a law firm maintaining a high level of knowledge about the ever-changing laws governing businesses. One that also includes accountants and tax specialists on board to provide your business bottom-line solutions. Kelleher & Buckley, LLC of North Barrington and Chicago is a legal solution provider that also includes estate planning, asset protection, life insurance planning, and litigation. Keep your business on track. Call 847-382-9130 or online at kelleherbuckley.com.
What if job searching could be easy? Like, what if you could search for a job, research the company, and apply all on the same site? You can do that on Glassdoor. Want to know what a job pays before you apply? Want a job with a shorter commute? You can find that on Glassdoor. What about insider info from actual employees? Yep, you can find that on Glassdoor too. Plus interview questions, CEO ratings, all on one site. So go to Glassdoor.com or download the app today. Glassdoor. Find the job that fits your life.
If you like to work as hard as you play, then this sound is music to your ears. Right now at the Can-Am Yellow Tag sales event, you can save on select 2017 Can-Am ATVs to the tune of up to $800. Get great deals on hard-working ATVs today. Visit your local Can-Am dealer for the Yellow Tag sales event. Offer ends soon. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
5:35, a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim.
Thanks, Mike. We have some delays on the CTA Blue Line after downtown at Washington. There was an unauthorized person on the tracks. We have delays on the inbound side of the Stevenson Expressway around Cicero Avenue, 35 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. The Ryan is 17 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, Bishop Ford, both running about 28 minutes now from I-80 to Merge. Tollways are okay, aside from some lingering morning work. County Department of Health brings us this traffic report. Prevent mosquito bites and the diseases they carry like West Nile and Zika. Fight the bite this fall by removing standing water, wearing repellent, and repairing torn window and door screens. Learn more at fightthebitecookcounty.com. Sponsored by the Cook County Department of Public Health. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Record-breaking heat continues again today. Sunshine, high near 92. Low of 71 overnight. 75 right now. Next news coming up at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Are you sure your business is being seen online? Visit beingseen360.com to discover how being seen online can improve traffic, leads, and sales. beingseen360.com.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. Why don't the Republicans engage in the battle of ideas with these Democrats when it comes to health care? We'll talk about it when Freedom returns at 5.
Dan and Amy, so here's what the D.C. press corps is focused on when it comes to Bob Mueller's special prosecution. Paul Manafort, of course, as a lever to get to Trump, right? So the Washington Post reporting yesterday breathlessly about Paul Manafort offering to give a Russian billionaire closely aligned with the Kremlin private campaign briefings during Manafort's time with the Trump campaign. Some aluminum magnate who Manafort had done business with, who was allegedly tied to the Kremlin, was going to get private briefings, according to a Manafort email from July of 2016. And so this is the latest, greatest evidence they have of something approximating Russian collusion. Briefing with a former business associate by the campaign chairman.
Don't you dare do that.
So that's that.
Okay.
I want to make sure it's covered. Now, here's what they're not covering. Let's start with Debbie Wasserman Schultz and her curious former IT aide, this Imran Awan, right, who's under indictment. More on Mr. Awan. Multiple women in relationships with Awan have recently called Virginia law enforcement and alleged that they were abused by him. There were police reports that obtained under FOIA. Officers found one of the women bloodied. She told them she just wanted to leave, while the second said she felt like a slave, according to Fairfax County police reports obtained by Daily Caller. A third woman claimed she was being kept, quote, in captivity, unquote.
What? What, do you put her in a cage? Tie her down?
The third woman is Awan's stepmother.
Okay, gross.
Who said in court documents that Awan invoked his authority as a congressional employee to intimidate immigrant women, in part by telling them he had the power to have people kidnapped. Now, to be fair, all of the many Democrats that retained Awan's services for IT purposes did comment on Awan under investigation, then ultimately under indictment. For example, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, as a mother, a Jew, and a member of Congress, Debbie Wasserman Schultz wanted to defend Awan's rights, a sentiment that was echoed by Congressman Marcia Fudge, an Ohio Democrat, Gregory Meeks, a New York Democrat. Wasserman Schultz had also previously claimed that allegations against Awan might stem from Islamophobia.
Oh, okay, sure.
The three women alleging that they were abused by Awan are Muslim. Just FYI.
Why would Debbie Wasserman Schultz, bring her religion into this?
Because
what, they're oppressed and he's oppressed. She knows what it feels like or something. I mean,
she's bringing religion into it, playing identity politics as a misdirection play, so that the substance of the issues under which Awan was indicted do not have to be addressed. Very, very curious. This is part of an investigation.
Good.
Into an alleged hack of the DNC, right?
Yeah.
And so
sounds like a real stand-up guy.
So where's the other than the indictment of Awan, which is significant, but Boy, there doesn't seem to be a lot of reporting other than by the Daily Caller and a few other outlets about Awan, about Debbie Wasserman Schultz, about why she was less than cooperative with Capitol Police with respect to their investigation.
No, she was downright sassy with them, demanding her stuff back and her computer, remember?
Yes. Developments. Where are the developments with respect to Awan and his wife who fled the country and the money they were trying to get to Pakistan and the nature of his crimes with respect to his professional responsibilities and access to information working for all these Democrat members of Congress, including the DNC chairman?
I mean, I think 2020 or Dateline would be all over trying to find one of those women and ask how Awan suppressed them, kept them held captive, how he threatened them. That would be a great story on one of those TV magazine shows.
Well, that's certainly part of the story, it appears, from the police reports in Virginia.
Yeah, they better add charges onto his list.
But the other issue is a national security issue.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a question of possible collusion, whether it's of a criminal nature or just a political nature, that may be relevant. I mean, his wife fled the country. He was attempting to before he was arrested in Dallas, if I'm recalling correctly, at the airport. And so why don't we know more about what this guy was attempting to do? There doesn't seem to be a lot of reporting around it. I mean, I assume ultimately this will come out in part in the prosecution, although there are no guarantees.
Maybe now that sex is involved or some nefarious behavior with that, maybe the mainstream media will pick up on it.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
But the question is, do they pick up on the relevant part? It seems
I feel like they already missed the relevant part.
It seems odd to me. There's a total lack of intellectual curiosity about Awan's professional responsibilities and what he did or didn't do with the access to ostensibly very sensitive information that he had for his time as Debbie Wasserman Schultz IT honcho. Very strange. Here's something else that's very strange. The Paul Manafort, going back to Paul Manafort, because this ties in what the media isn't covering. The media's lack of, again, intellectual curiosity, these dogged reporters that try to get to the truth as vanguards of the Fourth Estate to inform the masses, right? Boy, they really seem uninterested in seeming conflicts like the stories about the Manafort surveillance, and then what James Clapper had previously said, former director of national intelligence, what James Clapper had previously said about what he knew to be true and untrue about any Obama administration surveillance of Trump or Trump campaign operatives. James Clapper back in March on Meet the Press.
Let me start with the president's tweets yesterday, this idea that maybe President Obama ordered an illegal wiretap of his offices. If something like that happened, would this be something you would be aware of?
I would certainly hope so. I can say, obviously I can't speak officially anymore, but I will say that for the part of the national security apparatus that I oversaw as DNI, there was no such wiretap activity mounted against the president-elect at the time, or as a candidate, or against his campaign. I can't speak for other Title III authorized entities in the government or a state or local entity.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if the FBI, for instance, had a FISA court order of some sort for a surveillance, would that be information you would know or not know?
Yes.
You would be told this?
I would know that.
If there was a FISA court order
Yes.
on something like this?
Something like this, absolutely.
And at this point, you can't confirm or deny whether that exists?
I can deny it.
There is no FISA court order?
Not to my knowledge.
Of anything at Trump Tower?
No.
Okay. Well, that doesn't square with the reports out this week about a FISA warrants issued apparently in the summer of 2016 and then again in October of 2016 and then again after, and the surveillance continued after Trump was elected. Doesn't square with that because, I mean, Clapper wasn't around for the entire period of time, but he was in the run-up to that.
So clearly they didn't keep him in the loop? Or is he just flat out lying? Or is he oblivious? I mean, what is it?
Well, Trump was on with your girlfriend, Don Lemon, to explain himself.
Let me start with the president.
Oh, wait, no, we don't have that. Well, he essentially said that with respect to what he knew, he essentially said, well, these are just media reports, and I can't comment. So he's essentially trying to suggest that the media reports shouldn't be believed or shouldn't necessarily be believed, and otherwise he can't comment. Much less definitive, though, with Don Lemon than he was with Chuck Todd just, 15 months ago. He also said, with respect to any warrant to surveil Paul Manafort.
So did you know about a FISA warrant against Paul Manafort at the time?
I did not.
You did not. Okay.
And again, I have to say that what we have is media reporting only.
Right. Did not. Now it's just media reporting. But but there was none back in March of last year. Now he doesn't know, and it's just a media report. Larry and Bartlett, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning. When you were mentioning Debbie Wasserman's IT guy abusing women, we got to get Gloria Aldridge on the case because she just loves taking care of women who've been abused.
Gloria Allred, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a
She
good
can
idea.
get all 4 or 5 of those ladies together, have a big press conference.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. She only represents those accusing non-Democrats. Oh, sorry, Larry. Good idea, though. Tom in Deer Park.
Yeah, my call along the same line when you were talking about Wasserman Schultz's IT guy and how he seems to have skated away. And then the lack of reporting from certain entities. It gave me thought to the old, it's a 40-some-year-old story with Roman Polanski, the director, that gave a quaalude to a 13-year-old girl and raped her.
Yeah.
And when he went to get arrested for that, he flew the country. He's been a fugitive for 40 years. But do you think the Hollywood left wants his hide, skin, or an exoneration? No. They're trying to free him. They're constantly
They celebrate him. Yeah.
Well, the girl said that she was sexually promiscuous at the time, and she even testified in front of a judge saying, please have him come back. It was consensual. So she's changed her tune.
13.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was at the time. Now she's 40.
Yeah.
Well,
strange world we live in.
Yeah, thanks for the call time. Yeah, 13 turns out not to be the age of consent. So
Right.
what a 13-year-old has to say about being preyed upon by however old Polanski was at the time is not germane. It's called statutory rape.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Coming up next, it's a meltdown of the ages. Lawrence O'Donnell. Whew, now I know why we don't watch MSNBC. But first, here's your forecast, and it is a hot one. Really, it's suffocatingly hot out there. It's going to have a high today of 92 degrees, which will shatter a record set back in 1970. High humidity as well. Tomorrow, Friday, lots of sunshine with temperatures breaking another record of 92. That was set back in 1956. There will be a quiz later. And on Saturday, we're going to shatter another record that was set back in 1937. And ready for this? On Sunday, we're going to set a record of heat, 91 degrees for high. That record set back in 1891. All right, Jim Telemonte, do you have that all recorded properly?
Okay.
Here he is in our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Taking notes, Amy. Thanks so much. Good morning. Morning, Dan. LaGrange Park crashed 31st LaGrange Road. Edens, Kennedy, just fine. Inbound Ike, just a 1 or 2 minute delay. Wolf to 9th Avenue. Stevenson, mild delays. Harlem to Kedzie and Ashland to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan running about 18 minutes. 95th to downtown. I-57, 29 minutes. I-80 to the merge. Bishop 428. Tollway still okay. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do each morning. It's our digital platform with original long-form interviews with opinion leaders and policymakers. Man on the Street, Follow the Logic segments. Podcast for Illinois Rising program, which covers state policy and politics, airs on these airwaves Sundays at 3 p.m. Heart of the Matter, it's our new series featuring professional women speaking colleague to colleague about the salient issues of the day. The one released this week will focus on religious tests to hold public office or appointed public posts. and my 60 Seconds of Sanity commentaries, Pat Hughes' 2-minute warnings. And again, check out our sister site, defendhomeowners.com, defendhomeowners.com, to get a free report on your home's property taxes, a profile on your property, the taxes you pay, the costs that they impose, the opportunity cost of how much home you could have bought if our property taxes were similar to what they are in neighboring states and not the highest in the nation. So we're checking out defendhomeowners.com, as well as signing up at upstream-ideas.com.
The war on depression is over.
You win.
Depression, with all the drugs and side effects, the endless counseling, the frustration with life and relationships.
The war is over. You win.
In a few short weeks, your life will change.
It's TMS therapy.
Over 1 million people have been treated, and the results are nothing short of outstanding. It's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare.
Most drugs and other treatments just mask the depression.
TMS treats the cause, so you can win the war with your depression. Remission or cure.
Depression gone.
Get a free consultation at one of the HPR centers in Chicagoland and Wisconsin. Ask questions.
For you or someone you love, safe, revolutionary, effective treatment for depression.
Let depression recovery begin. HPR centers.
800-604-0208. 800-604-0208.
Go to endmydepression.com.
Our freedom and security are made possible through the service and sacrifice of our military and first responders. The Gary Sinise Foundation provides many outreach programs supporting these brave men and women. Join us. Donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
The same banking team you already know and trust at the private bank has come together with one of the strongest banks in North America. And we have a new name. The private bank is now CIBC. We share the same focus on building strong client relationships, and we're now backed by a bank with over 150 years of experience in putting clients first. Our name may have changed, but our commitment to helping your business grow is now stronger than ever. Visit us at CIBC.com/US. Member FDIC.
Most of us like to be out in the sun. That's why sunscreen and other safety measures are key to protecting your skin from aging and cancer. The FDA recommends using a sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher. Also, look for broad spectrum on the label. That means both harmful ultraviolet A and B rays are blocked. Remember, SPF plus broad spectrum equal healthy fun in the sun. Visit www.fda.gov/sunscreen for more information. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Roof is needy?
Call Crumweedy.
Roof is leaky?
Call Crumweedy.
Shingles are curly?
Call Crumweedy.
Roof isn't right after it's stormy?
Call Crumweedy.
Here comes winter. Well, soon. This is Mark Olson. And Greg Olson of Crumweedy. A third-generation family business. We're conservative just like you. We've been doing Chicagoland roofs since 1953. Really good roofs. The difference is installation. Hey, we know that. That's why we follow the manufacturer specifications, so your warranty is totally intact. A lot of companies don't do that, and that could void your warranty. Hate the high pressure? Not from us. We give you multiple options. Then you choose. A roof that lasts at a fair price. We fix roof problems. When your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy.
We say call. How about the number?
630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
MyRoofIsNeedy.com. Hey, do it now. Get it done before the winter comes. Crumweedy. We fix roof problems.
If you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, your dental health. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You hear a lot of people screaming at you about dental implants. Get it done in a day, or we can treat everybody, or hundreds of thousands of implants. Look, successful implants don't come from an implant factory. What you don't hear talked about is skill, treatment, and installation. These are what make for successful lifelong implants, and that's why you need to see Dr. Noruzzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Noruzzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants. You need the experience, skill, and honesty that 24 years of dental implants brings.
This is Dr. Noruzzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics, 630-232-7400, 630-232-7400, or just remember, implantsforme.com, implantsforme.com.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans.
Every day people ask me, Jay, did I miss out? Have the rates gone up? The answer is no. Rates are still low, and it's a perfect time to refinance your home, especially if your mortgage rate is higher than 4.25%. If you'd like to lower your interest rate and save thousands of dollars in interest without starting over on a new 30-year loan, a Quicken Loans Yorgage is what you're looking for. With our exclusive Yorgage, you can choose a term that works best for you, anywhere from 8 to 30 years. The rate today on an 8-year Yorgage is 3.25%, APR 3.67%. For 7 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation for customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 4th year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030.
5:57. Let's get an update on the roads this morning and the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Near South Side, have a report of a person hit by car, 23rd and Wabash. Edens is okay. The Kennedy looks delay-free as well. Little congested on River Road still. On Eisenhower, 2 minutes worth of delays between Wolf and 9th Avenue. On Stevenson, 38 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. The Ryan, 18 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 37 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 25. Tollways are still okay. No delays to report in northwest Indiana. Traffic is a service of Napa Auto Parts. This month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores, when you purchase a set of Napa brakes and rotors, get up to a $50 discount code towards your favorite fan gear from Fanatics.com. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Dan and Amy, and a full update from Fox News is on the way as well. But first, your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
The heat wave will continue through Saturday. Mostly sunny and hot today, humid with a high 93. Mostly clear, warm, and humid tonight with a low 71. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
75 at O'Hare. The news service of LifeLock Equifax recently announced a breach of 143 million identities, and you need to take steps to get protection. Be among the millions who trust their identity theft protection to LifeLock. Go to lifelock.com. Promo code RISK for 10% off. 5:58. Here are the stories we're following on AM 560. The Answer this morning. Chicago coming off a record-breaking day of hot weather, and the heat continues all the way through Sunday's Bears game. The Illinois Supreme Court is scheduled to rule on whether former Chicago area police officer Drew Peterson was properly convicted of murder in the death of his third wife, Kathleen Savio. The lawyer for one of the Wheaton College football players accused of hazing a teammate says his client is frustrated and disappointed by the new charges against him. State Senator Kwame Raoul has thrown his hat into the ring to replace retiring Illinois Attorney General Lisa Madigan. The son of the Chicago Housing Authority CEO is accused of killing a teen last weekend in Indianapolis. And a Carpentersville man faces murder charges following a deadly shooting at an auto body shop this week in Elsa. Cubs' 7-game win streak comes to an end with an 8-1 loss to the Rays. White Sox fell to the Astros 4-3. More Dan and Amy after Fox News, WIND Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
They're waking up without power in Puerto Rico. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. They'll need a lot of chainsawing through the downed trees after Hurricane Maria's fury knocked out electricity on the entire island. Late yesterday, after the storm hit and a curfew went into effect, Fox's Steve Harrigan reported.
We've seen power crews out there, out and about. Often they are on foot. It's so difficult to get around on the roads with the power lines down, with flooding, and with trees down. They're really trying to assess things by foot.
In addition to the flooding, there's damage to homes and buildings and fears of landslides. An earthquake-ravaged Mexico. Rescuers keep trying to dig down to a young girl trapped alive in the rubble of a school. They've talked to her, given her water. 3 other survivors were pulled out alive from a collapsed office building last night. At least 245 others, though, died in the quake. Amid the ongoing investigation into Russian meddling in the campaign, is a probe into the Obama administration unmasking names of Trump associates or other Americans caught up in foreign surveillance. Fox's Rachel Sutherland has an update live from Washington.
Dave, sources tell Fox News that former ambassador to the UN, Samantha Power, made hundreds of unmasking requests in the final year of the Obama White House. Earlier this year, Republican Congressman Trey Gowdy asked former CIA Director John Brennan if he remembered any U.S. ambassadors making unmasking requests.
I don't know. Maybe it's ringing a vague bell, but I could not answer with any confidence.
Power has agreed to meet with Senate and House Intelligence Committees as part of the Russia probe. Dave?
Rachel, we're learning more about the Equifax cyber attack. The Wall Street Journal reports it actually began in March, not May, like the company first reported. That hackers got into the system, found the vulnerabilities, then got access to the personal info like Social Security numbers of 143 million Americans. The Securities and Exchange Commission got hacked, too. The SEC says no one's personal info was accessed, but company info obtained might have helped people make illegal insider stock trades. Fox News, fair and balanced.
See filmmaker and the best-selling author of Hillary's America, Dinesh D'Souza, on Saturday, November 11th at Freedom Summit 2017 at the Westin Chicago Northwest in Itasca. He'll be appearing with Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North. Also appearing, radio talk show host Larry Elder, Joe Walsh, Dan Proft, and Amy Jacobson. Tickets are on sale now at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by Storelock.com.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs powered by Tandem HR. Heard Sunday evenings at 6.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Well, Jimmy Kimmel has come a long way from being a purveyor of girls jumping on trampolines to a noted healthcare policy expert.
Yeah, he's the moral authority on healthcare because his son had a heart surgery.
That's what he thinks.
Yeah.
The question is Jimmy Kimmel the opiate of the masses when it comes to healthcare policy? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Jimmy Kimmel used his talk show last night.
And the night before.
Yes, to inveigh against the Cassidy Graham Obamacare replace, in quotation marks, legislation that is being advanced and will be up for a Senate vote next week, it's being reported. And Kimmel is taking issue with a couple of people. One is Bill Cassidy, the Republican Louisiana senator, whose name is on the legislation. He's co-authored it with Lindsey Graham. Because Kimmel is alleging that Cassidy lied to him when Cassidy was previously on Kimmel's show.
I'm sorry, he does not understand.
Oh, I get it. I don't understand because I'm a talk show host, right? Well, and then help me out. Which part don't I understand? Is it the part where you cut $243 billion from federal health care assistance? Am I not understanding the part where states would be allowed to let insurance companies price you out of coverage for having pre-existing conditions? Maybe I don't understand the part of your bill in which federal funding disappears completely after 2026. Or maybe it was the part where plans are no longer required to pay for essential health benefits like maternity care or pediatric visits, or the part where the American Medical Association, the American College of Physicians, the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Hospital Association, the American Cancer Society, the American Diabetes Association, the American Heart Association, Lung Association, Arthritis Foundation, Cystic Fibrosis, ALS, the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, and the March of Dimes, among many others, all vehemently oppose your bill. Which part of that am I not understanding? Or could it be, Senator Cassidy, that the problem is that I do understand and you got caught with your GOP-ness out?
Oh. Well, basically he's saying that Senator Bill Cassidy lied. And he appeared on Kimmel's show, the senator did, vowing not to flunk the Jimmy Kimmel test. And that is, according to Cassidy, would the child born with a congenital heart disease be able to get everything he or she needed in the first year of life? So that's the Jimmy Kimmel test.
So to Jimmy Kimmel's question, am I not understanding? Which part am I not understanding? You're not understanding everything you just said. There's not a single thing you said that you understand. In fact, the bill would leave in place a rule requiring insurers to cover people with pre-existing conditions. Number one. Did you hear that? The bill would require insurers to cover people with pre-existing conditions. So I understand your passion for everyone else now because your son, unfortunately, has a heart challenge. And so he's had, 2 open heart surgeries?
Mm-hmm.
And we wish his son well. But as David Harsanyi points out in The Federalist, as far as I know, there isn't a single politician in America who's ever supported allowing babies to die because they're born with birth defects, even if parents can't pay. There never has been. And that's the point that Cassidy made. And his cheap demagoguery should be castigated, not celebrated.
Right, but he's giving a gift to Democrats, by having this platform to spew his own opinion of what this new Obamacare bill looks like. Because emergency heart surgery is never denied to babies based on ability to pay. Look at the hospital in question where his son had that surgery. There's a lot of illegal immigrants, and they don't have health insurance or Medicaid, and they're not turned away.
Right. So
that's another point to let Jimmy Kimmel know.
So what doesn't he understand? He doesn't understand everything. And all those associations and insurance companies, by the way, the insurance companies he decries, it's worth noting why they support Obamacare, why they wrote Obamacare, because they're government rent seekers who want protection and a guaranteed source of funding from the government.
Yeah, they need that payday.
So Jimmy Kimmel and the left are in bed with them. They're in bed with rent seekers. They're in bed with big insurance. It is people like me who want market reforms to the insurance, as well as some personal responsibility and connection between provider and customer in the system to truly lower costs and to expand choice. We're on the side of the little guys that Jimmy Kimmel's pretending to be on the side of. And it's disgraceful, and he shouldn't get away with it. By the way, just going on to the rest of what he ticked off, with respect to essential benefits, we talked about this in the first phase of the attempt to repeal. But let me cite an actual expert in healthcare policy. She is Elizabeth Stell. She's Director of Policy Analyst for the Commonwealth Foundation. She noted about the essential health benefits. Waivers to essential health benefits, community rating, and guaranteed issue mandates will allow the individual market to offer a wider variety of plans, including plans with lower costs. Before Obamacare, states like New Hampshire and Washington implemented guarantee issue only to repeal it after costs skyrocketed. Unfortunately, we didn't learn from history. Healthcare is an extremely unique and personal service. Why would the scope of insurance plans be any different, meaning unique and diverse and personal? And Kimmel is against that when he talks about these guaranteed essential benefits. That sounds good, guaranteed essential benefits, and most people don't look past the top line. Okay, well, what is that essential benefits? What would those be? What are the implications? But those are the implications, what Ms. Stell refers to in her response to that, because there was going to be more flexibility in the original version of Obamacare Replace. And that's the flexibility that continues in what is proposed by Graham and Cassidy.
Yeah, and as a mom, his invocation of his son is so absurd because Kimmel's son did not lack health insurance. And if he did need something,
ability to pay.
Millionaire. Right, he's a millionaire.
Millionaire? He makes $50 million a year.
I'm just saying,
approaching 9 figures.
Well, yeah, he has the money and he has health insurance. So he's trying to be a champion for the little. He was thinking about other babies in the NEEC unit. I mean,
yeah, he's a regular guy. He's a flunky. Who's clever and had some popular Comedy Central shows carried by Adam Carolla on The Man Show and Ben Stein and Win Ben Stein's Money. And all of a sudden, not only is he America's favorite late night talker, but he's also a health policy expert and the defender of the common man. Bull jive. Well, as most leftists, he's feigning his concern for the common man as a way to project what a great dad he is and how he's just like you. And now he's going to do something for you because he's been touched by a healthcare crisis in his family. And I'm not denigrating his son or the healthcare challenges his son have. And again, obviously, you hope that turns out well. This has nothing to do with his son. It has everything to do with Jimmy Kimmel's cheap politics. That's what this is.
Right, but this is how he pulled at all of our heartstrings and brought the issue to the forefront.
Billy was born with a heart disease.
I mean, that's what, started everyone like, uh-oh, Jimmy Kimmel's crying. Uh-oh.
In addition to that, the 15 Republican governors who signed on to this, at least so far, Rauner not being one of them. You heard on Mike Scott's newscast, Rauner expressing deep concerns. I mean, the idea of defending the unfundable Obamacare Medicaid expansion in this state initiated by Quinn, where you're tracking to have 1 in 3 Illinoisans on Medicaid. You cannot finance it. And oh, by the way, who gets hurt? You think you're standing up for the little guy, Governor Rauner, or anybody else? No, you're not. We can't fund the system. So what happens? The people who are the truly the intended beneficiaries of Medicaid, developmentally disabled, pregnant women, indigent children, they see their access to services decline, reduced in quality and choice. And Medicaid is not exactly where individuals who have choices choose for all kinds of obvious reasons.
Well, a lot of doctors don't take anybody on Medicaid either.
Because they don't get paid.
Right, exactly. And they'll ask you, are you on Medicaid? Oh, if you are, you can't come here.
Including hospitals that receive state and federal money, like University of Chicago. They stopped accepting Medicaid patients because they weren't getting reimbursed by the state, even though those reimbursements from this federal state program are often at below cost of services provided. I mean, this whole thing is upside down, and the cheap rhetoric, the preening rhetoric of hacks like Jimmy Kimmel and, most of Congress, too, for that matter, is just so disturbing. And unfortunately, people, again, don't take the time to dig in. The other, and so just the other point about the money, because he's talked about $243 billion is going to be cut.
It's not cut, right? Isn't it shifted from federal to states?
Block granting monies to states.
Okay.
To have more flexibility in how they operate, in part because some states expanded Medicaid under Obamacare and some states did not. And so the bill seeks to distribute funds roughly equally among the states. 31 states expanded Medicaid, and some states had considerably higher enrollment in subsidized plans. So because the funding would go away to be replaced by block grants, some states would see a net funding gain, and others would see a loss. But that's based on the path that they chose and continue to choose if they want.
312-642-5600 is our turnkey Debt Pro answer line. 64636, type in DA, then a quick comment.
Sharon in Itasca, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. What I find unreal about a supercilious liberal like Jimmy Kimmel, not only are there thousands of other parents with children like his son who have that kind of an affliction, but they are unable to dole out the cash to be able to pay for the same treatment that he could readily afford out of pocket for his son. And let's not forget what they rated to start Obamacare. They took a ton of money out of Medicare to senior citizens. This is why these programs, Social Security and Medicare, are in danger, because people like Mr. Kimmel, who's a liberal socialist statist, couldn't care less. He just wants to sound like a regular person, because no person like him likes to be described as a Hollywood liberal. Him and George Clooney are mirror images that way. But I find it disgusting that he would go up there and grandstand and use his son as an example. I know 2 other families with very serious illness, children who are ill, and they can no longer afford the Obamacare, which we've been duped for now for the past how many years? I find him appalling. I really do, in spite of his son's illness. That's my comment. Thanks
for the call, Sharon. In addition, Kimmel took time to go after Brian Kilmeade, who went after him. So this is Jimmy Kimmel and Brian Kilmeade from
really?
Fox and Friends. After Kilmeade took a shot at him over the weekend. First you'll hear from Kilmeade and then Kimmel giving his response.
Sunday's politically charged Emmys may have been the lowest rate in history, but that's not stopping Hollywood elites like comedian Jimmy Kimmel for pushing their politics on the rest of the country. Watch.
Thanks, Brian. That was Brian Kilmeade. And the reason I found this comment to be particularly annoying is because this is a guy, Brian Kilmeade, who whenever I see him, kisses my ass like a little boy meeting Batman. Oh, he's such a fan. I think he's been to the show. He follows me on Twitter. He asked me to write a blurb for his book, which I did. He calls my agent looking for projects. He's dying to be a member of the Hollywood elite. The only reason he's not a member of the Hollywood elite is because nobody will hire him to be one. And, you know, the reason I'm talking about this is because my son had an open heart surgery and has to have 2 more. And because of that, I learned that there are kids with no insurance in the same situation. I don't get anything out of this, Brian, you phony little creep. Oh, I'll pound you when I see you. That is my blurb.
Oh, things just got a little real around here.
And, of course, he couldn't finish his monologue without taking the Trump shot.
There's no way President Trump read this bill that he says is great. He just wants to get rid of it because Obama's name is on it. The Democrats should just rename it Ivanka Care. Guaranteed he gets on board. Can you imagine Donald Trump actually sitting down to read a health care bill? It's like trying to imagine a dog doing your taxes. It just doesn't compute, you know?
David Harsanyi, going back to his piece in The Federalist, reacted saying, the monologue could have been written by any liberal activist, which is to say it's zero-sum emotionalism. Anyone can play that game. Fact is that Kimmel is a fan of the status quo, and he wants you to call Cassidy to complain about it. It's a shame that Kimmel didn't provide a number to call for the tens of millions of Americans who've seen their premiums and out-of-pocket costs skyrocket under Obamacare strictures. Is there no telephone number for those who are sick of being in exchanges that coerce them to buy plans they don't need, sold to them by companies they don't like, and fabricated non-competitive markets that have dwindling choices? Kimmel doesn't believe Americans deserve the chance to reduce the cost of health care with market-based reforms on the state level or in giving states any flexibility in catering their plans to citizens. And so it turns out that Kimmel is a proponent of American suffering, not a defender to prevent Americans from suffering.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up, a meltdown for the ages. Lawrence O'Donnell in some hot water for his bad behavior. But first, here's your forecast. Plenty of heat, record-setting heat for the next 5 days, really. We're 92 degrees today, 92 tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, both in the mid to lower 90s. And the humidity is going to be here as well. So prepare and drink plenty of fluids and set your tee times if you want to play golf. But first, let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Before I make my tee time, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Dan. Good morning. Here, south side, 23rd and Wabash. Got a report of a crash involving a person hit by a car. The Eden's inbound is heavy now from Foster to Montrose. 21 minutes, Lake Hook to the junction. Outbound, it's 19. Kennedy, 23 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound, 20. The Eisenhower, 40 minutes, Thorndale to the post office. Outbound, 31. Stevenson, 40 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound, 34. Ryan is 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. Clear outbound. I-57, 32 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop 421. Lakeshore Drive is fine. The only tollway delay is the eastbound Adams Tollway, I-90. Stop and go from the Tri-State to the Kennedy. Northwest Indiana, just fine. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
One thing I know for sure is that so many of our Morning Answer listeners are getting a great night's sleep. That's because so many of you have purchased MyPillows and saved a lot of money. So if you don't sleep on a MyPillow, I suggest you act now by using the promo code Amy. You get the absolute best deal available anywhere. It's the 50% discount on a MyPillow 4-pack, including 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows. And you can move the fill to give you the support you need regardless of the sleep position. And you won't wake up to a stiff neck or headache. You'll wake up recharged, refreshed, ready to tackle your day. The best thing is you're laying your head on a product made in America, and the true patriot and founder, Mike Lindell, so gracious, he has donated 60,000 pillows to Texas flood victims. So get your 50% off the 4-pack in September by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit mypillow.com. Promo code Amy, 800-489-0201.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I had some ulcer issues on my leg that I had from Vietnam. It would erupt on occasion of periods of stress. When I was taking juices, these ulcers had disappeared, but I was not able to get good quality fruits and vegetables to make good juices. And, these ulcers came back. But since I've been taking the fruit and the veggie capsules, these ulcers again have subsided.
Good health is only a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Earnings vary based on your effort. Message and data rates may apply.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and next week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text MONEY15 to 99,000. Seating is extremely limited. Text in the next 10 minutes and you'll also receive a free copy of Than's Money for Deals guide. Text MONEY15 to 99,000. That's MONEY15 to 99,000.
AM 560, The Answer.
So, MSNBC's Larry O'Donnell must have made some enemies because a bunch of outtakes from his lately watched show were made public.
Oh, yeah. He had a bad night, Dan, last August 29th, I do believe. And 8 minutes of outtakes of him having a meltdown were somehow leaked to Mediaite. That's my favorite little publication there online. And, there's some construction work going on, and he wasn't having it.
Stop the hammering. Stop the hammering out there. Who's got a hammer? Where is it?
I don't know.
Where's the hammer? Is it on the... Go up on the other floor. Somebody go up there and stop the hammering. Stop the hammering. I'll go down to the floor myself and stop it. Keep the commercial break going.
Wow. Those aren't the lyrics to
Call
Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Phil Griffin. I don't care who the you have to call. Stop the hammering.
Do you think he wants the hammering to stop?
I think it's just occurring in
Empty
his
out
head. They can't hear the hammering. It's just in Donald's mind.
Going on. It's either there or out there somewhere.
Out there, he's pointing to the hall. It's out there. So this is during a commercial break.
Larry,
the
it's
woman
in
talking
here.
in my ear was talking about the Labor Day special repeatedly. Every time we went to a SOT.
Sound on tape.
Yeah. What do you mean in the conversation? Not in the Bush SOT, no.
He's
out of control.
So he's a little unhinged, and apparently, because people have an IFB in their ear, that's, so the producer can talk to him. Some random woman was talking the whole time about something that not related to the show. So I don't know if they got hacked or what was going on, but he still couldn't get it under control.
Harass and intimidate people of color. The new sheriff of Maricopa County, who beat Joe Arpaio, joins us next. I don't know why I bother to say how to cut the SOTs when you don't do it. I just don't. I don't know why I just. So now I have to chase those stupid entrails that you allowed him to stick out there. Jesus Christ. Crazy sound coming in my ear, this stupid hammering. I told you why I wanted those words cut. It just sucks. It sucks to be out here with this out of control.
Sucks to be Larry O'Donnell.
Any
really not good.
thing can come into my ear at any moment. That's what I know. Anybody can get into my ear at any time.
Okay, so
Then he tweeted out an apology.
Yeah, he said a better anchorman and a better person would have had a better reaction to technical difficulties. I'm sorry, but I've seen a lot of anchor meltdowns, and I've experienced a lot of anchor meltdowns, and that was a pretty good one, because during the whole time you see, the floor assistant handing him scripts for the next segment, pretending that this isn't happening, just give him what he wants. You see the floor director trying to help him with his IFB, and he's like, "Don't touch that! Don't." I mean, he's. But you know what though? What I learned, because I've never watched that show, he's not good. He mumbles his whole way through, and he talks like this at one tone in the hallway. Coming up next. I mean, it's pretty bad. But this reminds me of Bill O'Reilly. It reminds us a lot of breakdowns, but they did a mashup. Do you know what a mashup is? Where they compare Bill O'Reilly.
Yes, I know what a mashup is.
Well, I didn't know. My kids had to tell me what a mashup was.
What's going on? Why am I losing this?
Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter.
Who's asking for a Labor Day rundown in my ear?
Yeah, I can't read it. There's no words on it.
You have insanity in my earpiece.
There's no words there.
Insanity in my earpiece is my high school band.
Stop the hammering.
Hammer time. All right, go.
Stop the hammering out there. Who's got a hammer?
I can't do it.
Where is it?
If I had a
Where's
hammer.
the hammer?
We'll do it live.
Somebody go up there and stop the hammering.
We'll do it live.
Stop the hammering.
Do it live.
No, I think people are saying stop the mashup. Here's the thing. There's another side of the story.
Oh, what?
The other side of the story is legitimate frustration with incompetence. Let's not forget
it's just
that,
how you
too.
process it, The technical difficulties happen everywhere.
Tell me about it.
And all the time.
But that was okay. But I mean, the standard of excellence for rant, Lee Elia is the standard of excellence for rant. Lee Elia on Cubs fans.
Mm-hmm.
Difficult to beat that. Earl Weaver on a fan's letter about who was he playing? I can't remember the Oriole that she wanted to see. Terry Crowley. A fan's letter on his own talk show about why don't you play Terry Crowley more, and Earl Weaver lost it. That is great. But I got to say, I'm still giving the nod to Christian Bale, who didn't like how a gaffer was meandering about the set when he was trying to recite his lines.
Kick your I want you off set, you. No, don't just be sorry. Think for 1 second. The are you doing? Are you professional or not? Yes, I am. Do I walk around and rip that? No, shut. Do I want? No! Don't shut me up. Am I gonna walk around and rip down in the middle of a scene? Then walking right through. Da-da-da-da, like this in the background. What the is it with you? What don't you understand? You got any idea about, hey, it's distracting having somebody walking up behind Bryce in the middle of the scene? Give me a answer. What don't you get about it?
I was looking at the light.
Oh, good for you. And how was it? I hope it was good, because it's useless now, isn't it?
That is, now, to be fair, he was in character. He was in The Fighter. It was playing Irish Mickey Ward's brother. No, I'm kidding. Mike on the north side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Mike on the north side.
Hi, Dan. Thanks for taking my call. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning.
Listen, Dan, you were just a little too rough on Jimmy Kimmel. If Hollywood wants this, we should give it to Hollywood, because they're Hollywood. They want it funded, we'll fund it. But let's fund it off their backs. How about 15 or 16% tax on every movie ticket sold? How about Obamacare takes 20% of everything they take in for their ads, for commercials and that? Because it's for the children, and that's most important. So why don't we just start taking a piece of every movie, every TV show, every radio show, except, of course, for talk radio.
Of course.
Every band, their albums, their CDs, Concerts, let's take 25% of that because it's for the children.
There you go. That's how we could, pay for people who can't afford insurance. With that, Hollywood would be all on board for that, wouldn't they, Mike? Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
5-year-old suspended from kindergarten for an alleged terrorist threat at 6:36.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
74 degrees, wind south at 3. Hurricane Maria devastating Puerto Rico, now lashing the Dominican Republic. Not expected to be a problem for Florida right now. Computer modeling showing the Category 3 storm eventually turning to the north and northeast, well away from the U.S. mainland. Meantime, 237 people are dead following Tuesday's magnitude 7.1 quake in Mexico. Rescue workers are still searching for survivors. President Trump has high hopes for the latest GOP attempt to repeal and replace Obamacare.
I think it has a very good chance. Obamacare is a disaster. It's failing badly.
And a co-sponsor of that latest Republican effort to repeal Obamacare says something needs to be done because Obamacare is failing.
If we don't do anything, premiums will continue to rise, markets will continue to collapse, and Obamacare continues to be unworkable. There's 100% guarantee on that.
Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson backing the bill. Chicago coming off record-breaking heat yesterday. The National Weather Service says of the previous high for this day will likely be shattered as well. The Illinois Supreme Court scheduled to rule on whether former Chicago area police officer Drew Peterson was properly convicted of murder in the death of his third wife. The court announcing it will release its opinion later today on Peterson's appeal of his 2012 conviction in the death of Kathleen Savio. State Senator Kwame Raoul has thrown his hat into the ring to replace retiring Illinois Attorney General Lisa Madigan. Police say a fire at a home in Bloomington was just a screen this week to hide a murder-suicide. Investigators yesterday say 33-year-old Eric Ringenberg killed his infant son and toddler son, then lit the fire, then killed himself. Ringenberg's wife escaped, was not attacked by her husband. Bloomington police right now can't offer a guess as to why Ringenberg killed his children and then himself. Actor and former NFL wide receiver Bernie Casey is dead after a short illness at the age of 78. Casey played football for Bowling Green in college, leading them to a 1959 title. Went on to the NFL, playing for the 49ers and Rams. Cubs' 7-game win streak comes to an end with an 8-1 loss to the Rays. Astros beat the White Sox 4-3. The news, a service of Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco for Washington Honey Crisp apples, $2.49 a pound. Get 6-ounce Atlantic salmon portions for $3.99 each, and save on select 2 liters of 7-Up or Dr. Pepper products, only 79 cents each when you buy in multiples of 4. 6:33 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
I hate cleaning my gutters. I kept hearing ads for that gutter guard system, so I thought, why not? I'll get an estimate. I was shocked. I never thought gutter guards could cost so much. Then I heard about Spring Rock gutter guards. The estimate is free, so it made sense to at least compare them. I was shocked again by how much money they saved me. I'm talking thousands, like enough to take my family to Disney World. They take a different approach to gutter protection. A completely closed design keeps all types of debris out of your gutters. Sure, those higher-priced systems may keep the leaves out, but Spring Rock gets the job done at up to half the price with no compromise on quality. Spring Rock also comes with the same lifetime warranty. If the gutter system ever clogs, they will clean it out for free, no questions asked. Same result for less money. That's smart. There's more than one option when it comes to gutter guards. Compare today and save at springrockgutters.com or call 708-571-0632. Special financing is available. Drain your gutters, not your wallet.
Chronic headaches, constant sinus infections, pain and pressure. The fatigue was overwhelming.
That's Karen. She suffered for years with chronic sinus infections. She'd go to urgent care, see her doctor.
And we would do the same thing. Steroids, antibiotics, nasal sprays.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office called the Smart Sinus Procedure.
I felt better right away. Now my sinus cavities are open. You can breathe on a constant basis and not get sinus infections. I don't get headaches anymore. I don't take naps anymore. I'm like, oh, this is miraculous.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, headaches? Find out if the Smart Sinus procedure is right for you. It's covered by Medicare and most insurance. Set an appointment today with Smart Sinus. And with your deductibles met, now may be the best time to call. Call 847-873-8776. 847-873-8776. That's 847-873-8776.
6:35. Let's get an update on the roads and the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Inbound Kennedy is heavy now from River Road till to Montrose and Chicago Avenue to the Burn Circle. 37 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 12 from Montrose. 9 on the Express. Outbound 14 minutes to Montrose. 25 to the airport. Eden's 23 minutes from Lake Cook to the Kennedy. Outbound 20. About Eisenhower. 55 minutes Thorndale to the post office. Outbound 38. Stevenson, 45 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 36. Ryan is 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State, slow Southwest Highway to 75th. Plainfield Road to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. The other tollways are fine. No delays to report on I-80 or in Northwest Indiana. Traffic is a service of Experian. Think data breaches only affect companies? Think again. Could be your data being sold on the dark web. See if you're at risk with a free dark web email scan only from Experian. It costs nothing, and it could help keep your identity yours. Start now for free at Experian.com/scan. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. And your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Sunny and very warm day. Temperatures will likely break the record of 92. Set back in 1970. Clear, warm, humid overnight, low 71. Currently 74. Next news coming up at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Are you sure your business is being seen online? Visit beingseen360.com to discover how being seen online can improve traffic, leads, and sales. beingseen360.com.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
So get ready for this story. It dovetails nicely with our interview with Dr. Leonard Sachs yesterday about why boys are adrift, why boys are underachieving and unmotivated. One of the reasons, the environment in schools, anti-masculinity, zero common sense, zero tolerance policies.
My sons Peyton and Eli are very upset that we had him on because I changed some things at the household last night.
There you go.
Got some alarm clocks.
There.
No more screens in the bedrooms.
Got to reduce the video game playing to less than 20 hours a week or a day.
6 hours a week.
Yeah. Well, right.
And they have to do their homework first and their chores first. Which one listened and the other didn't, and that one's tied up in the basement.
There you go.
I'm just kidding.
Well, that's the only way he'll learn. Jackson Riley's a 5-year-old. Grand Valley Academy Charter School in Modesto, California. Suspended for making terrorist threats.
At 5?
5.
Okay, what did he do, Dan?
He said there was a bomb in a place that would explode if he didn't do something.
Huh?
Yeah. The kindergarten refused to take off his backpack, and he said there was a bomb in it, and it would explode if he took off his backpack.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they took that seriously? I'm sorry, was it a pressure cooker?
In his backpack.
Because a pressure cooker a bomb in his backpack would probably tilt the 5-year-old over because it would be very heavy.
Yeah.
And he would fall down and go boom.
Remember our conversation with Leonard Sachs? It talked about, like, this whole thing that boys fantasizing about violence, or even though, we're inundated with violent images and content in every medium, every communication channel. But boys fantasizing about violence, that's not a bad thing. That's their creativity when they're fantasizing generally and wanting to play the hero. That's just imagination and role-playing, exactly.
Like we played cowboys and Indians and cops and robbers.
Right. And so that's he was like imagining himself as the hero in this situation, right, by keeping his backpack on. And so
did they evacuate the school.
So there's a difference between, well, there's, no, right,
I shouldn't laugh. I'm sorry.
There's a difference between that and making a specific threat against a specific individual. This is what the doctor was telling us yesterday. His book, Boys Adrift. The school told the kid's father he was suspended for his intent to, quote, threaten, intimidate, or harass others. Boy, I'd love to see them establish an intent on this in a due process, as in an actual in an actual proceeding, as something in a context akin to something that's due process. Prove intent, but intent to threaten, intimidate, or harass others is why he was suspended. And the school basically kind of did what the schools do, is say, our hands are tied, that's what we have to do. His dad says, the kid's takeaway is you can't say bomb at school. Jackson's, the kid, seems to have largely forgotten about the incident, according to his dad. The next day, he was in our backyard picking flowers to bring to his teacher. Real threat to really threat to the peace at Modesto Charter School. But so 5-year-olds are out for pretending, right? 5-year-old boys, you play war or you make some kind of general threat, what's perceived to be a general threat, what's malinterpreted to be a general threat rather than interpreted to be a kid, using his imagination. So that they're gone. They're out of school.
They're out of school? It's over?
I mean, he's suspended for a day. It's not over. But then this sticks with him.
He's going to stick with him forever on his record.
So
they can get that expunged.
The flip side, a great piece by our friend Bob Whitson in National Review. Bob Whitson, the Whitson Center, Black Enterprise Neighborhood Entrepreneurship. Woodson talking about an issue we've talked about, which is then you have violence in the classroom and they don't want to suspend anybody. St. Paul, Minnesota. These workshops that are put on by the Pacific Education Group, which, oh, by the way, was one of the responsible parties for the new Trier I Hate White People race seminar day. And they're all over the North Shore suburban school districts. Don't kick them out. Became required reading in some schools. Don't kick them out. It's a book. The book promoted the premise that white privilege and institutional racism explain all racial disparities in schools and advised if a student uses profanity, why would we suspend them? He has proven that he has a limited vocabulary. He needs remediation. If he's violent, then that also needs remediation, not punishment. And this is all about attempting to reduce the racial disparity in suspension rates, in particular school districts, as part of a directive from President Obama's Department of Education, because they found nationally suspension rates were 3 times higher for black students as compared to white students. So what happened? St. Paul, Minnesota, where they implemented this full bore, while penalties for violence and behavior standards for students were drastically lowered. Only the worst offenses were reported to police, like we're talking about Class X felonies, while school officials were told to handle lesser offenses such as assault, sexual violence, and drug possession on their own. And so what happened was a new breed of untouched, this is from Bob Whitson's piece, Bob Whitson, who marched with Martin Luther King, okay? A new breed of untouchable black students forced their way into classrooms to take revenge on rivals, rampaged through the hallways, assaulted teachers who tried to intervene because teachers, hey, it's just sexual violence, you handle it.
Yeah.
It's just an assault, it's just drug possession. Hey, teach, you handle it. Serious injuries. Woodson concludes, it's time to stop the flow of funds to opportunistic grievance industry charlatans who've doomed the future of thousands of at-risk youths. We need to instead direct our precious resources to those groups that have demonstrated they can make a big difference in the lives of young people who desperately need positive role models, which is consistent with what Dr. Leonard Sachs said. But I just love the juxtaposition of this, right? The one hand, the 5-year-old picking flowers in the backyard gets suspended for a day for being, for using his imagination. On the other hand, we're funding organizations that promote this white privilege race industry bilge that's adopted by administrators that puts teachers as well as other students at risk No punishment for serious offenses. It's just an incredible thing. Here's something else from Mattoon.
Oh, yeah, Charleston Mattoon.
Yeah. Student shot at Mattoon High School, another student in custody. The Tribune's reporting that this came out.
Yeah, it happened yesterday around 11:30.
Yeah. So none of the students' names have been released, but I got somebody down in Mattoon who gave me the details.
Of the male suspect, or?
The shooter, a white gay transgender student who got beat up days before by a black girl. He brings a gun to kill the black girl who beat him, her up, misses her because he doesn't know how to use a pistol, shoots another kid in the shoulder 2 seats away. Then the transgender student gets overpowered by a female ex-vet, female military veteran.
The teacher?
Yeah, who controls the weapon and emptying 8 rounds into the ceiling.
Good for the teacher.
Yeah, so the teacher, hey, teach, you handle this one.
Why aren't
I
they?
mean, it's not like it's a 5-year-old with a backpack.
Right.
But isn't that interesting? How will this be reported, I wonder?
Well, they reported that the suspect is a male student.
Transgender.
Right. Well, they didn't say transgender.
Well, of course
just
they
said
didn't.
A male student's in custody.
Yeah. We'll see how this gets reported.
And the injured student's in stable condition. At least nobody died. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing if they bring that up.
Yeah.
They bring up the truth.
All of the contextual facts here that don't fit the pattern. Let's see how the reporting presents itself in the coming days on that Mattoon school shooting. Ken in Plainfield, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Morning, Dan, Amy. I just wanted to point out, I read about this story on that interweb thing last night, and what I read was that the father pointed out that the school's own rules said they couldn't punish him for having basically an active imagination. So on the charges they first had, causing a disturbance, so they said, yeah, you're right, we're going to change it to a terroristic threat, so then we can suspend them.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's a little vindictiveness on the school board and the school officials, which is kind of why I hate school people, because they're so vindictive against kids.
I don't like school people.
Yeah, Ken, you're right about that. That is what happened. That is what happened. There was a second letter sent after the first letter, and they changed it to a terrorist threat for exactly that reason, because they had already decided what the punishment was going to be. Now they had to create a crime to fit it. That's exactly right, Ken. Thanks for the clarification. Phil on the Northwest side.
Morning, Dan and Amy. You got to get rid of the communist teachers, send them to Christian schools. Just wondering, those teachers take that serious? Like, is the father an IRA man, or do you remember ISIS? Is that why this is taken so serious?
He could be if we don't stop this, stop this kind of conduct, nip it in the bud with the creativity. Thanks for the call, Phil. Did you see this story too? Do Peyton and Eli have best friends?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I heard that we're not supposed to have best friends anymore. We have a buddy bench at our school, so if you don't have a friend during recess, you can sit on the buddy bench.
Yeah, I don't know if people are aware of this, but there's a trend that's started in Europe and is spread like a virus to American schools, banning best friends.
Yeah, because it excludes other people.
It's true.
Because if you're somebody's best friend, you can't be another person's best friend. But I think you could have 4 to 5 best friends. But my limit's 5. What's your limit?
I don't have any friends.
Okay.
5 best friends is your limit.
Mm-hmm. I have 5 best friends.
Huh.
That protect me, I protect them, and we don't repeat each other's stuff, if you know what I mean.
That's a gang. Those aren't best friends.
Maybe that's none of your business.
Yeah.
What the ladies do.
Well, but see, this is the problem.
But
though.
if I had one best friend, which growing up everybody has one, they're called BFFs. It's very juvenile, but that's what it's called in elementary school, and junior high, and high school.
Yeah, in 2005, that's what it was called.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
BFF.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, a generation ago, that's what it was called.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are they called now? Besties? Or?
They're not allowed.
You can't
Aren't
have a best friend?
No best friends, because why? It prevents you from forming bonds with others and creates feelings of exclusion among those without best friends.
Then that's when you go to the buddy bench.
And this is, so this is why you and Justin haven't bonded, because you're excluding him from your best friend circle. Look at him.
I know.
He looks forlorn.
I'm his mother's age, so that's okay.
So we got the kids, we got the youngsters with no best friends. We're protecting them from best friends. We're protecting them from flower-picking 5-year-olds with backpacks and an imagination, but not from sexual violence and assaults in high school classrooms. You got it? The state of K through 12.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Heat and humidity, that's what's going to be happening here for the next 4 to 5 days. Record-breaking heat, 92 degrees for a high, shattering a record set back in 1970. Tomorrow, lots of sun, humid, record-setting high of 92, which will break a record set back in 1956, and I could go on and on and on. I mean, Sunday, we're going to break a record set back in 1891. That's going to be spectacular. We're going to have a high on the weekend of temperatures in the low to mid-90s. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Any hot spots on the roadways? Here's Jim Delamonte.
They'll start to heat up. Amy and Dan, good morning. Kennedy now looking at 40 minutes from O'Hare to downtown. It's 16 from Montrose, 14 in the Express. Outbound 34 minutes to O'Hare. Eden's 27 minutes from Lake Cook Junction. Outbound 20. Inbound Eisenhower, 57 minutes. Thorndale to the post office. 44 from Manheim. Outbound 39 to Thorndale. Stevenson, 57 minutes now. 3:55 to the drive. Outbound 36. Ryan, 25 minutes from 95th to the Loop. Tri-State northbound heavy Cicero to Ogden. The Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. Veterans Memorial now heavy. 63rd to the Reagan Tollway. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
I'm Lou Dobbs, the Apple CEO, Tim Cook, going all in for the DACA program. And a government watchdog chiding airlines over fees. Those stories next. Are you being intimidated by the IRS? Rapid Resolution Tax Group is a team of tax attorneys, enrolled agents, and tax professionals who've helped thousands of people with problems just like yours, and they promise not to let the IRS intimidate you. If you are an individual or business who owes at least $10,000 to the IRS, you can turn to them for help. Has your bank account been levied? Do you have years of unfiled tax returns? Let Rapid Resolution Tax Group intervene for you. They're accredited with and A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they guarantee same-day contact with the IRS. If you qualify, Rapid Resolution Tax Group can work towards settling your tax debt for less, removing penalties and fees, and stopping levies and garnishments. Call the professionals at Rapid Resolution Tax Group at 800-601-2929. That's 800-601-2929. Apple CEO Tim Cook says Apple plans to work with Congress on behalf of Apple employees brought to America illegally as children. Cook called immigration the biggest issue of our time and says Apple fully supports DACA. Leaders from Walmart, Target stores, and Pepsi also joining the political initiative, signing a letter supporting the so-called Dreamers program. Economic reports released today include the index of leading economic indicators, the latest on jobless claims, and the Government Accountability Office saying airlines collected more than $7 billion in fees for checked bags and changed reservations. The GAO says the spiraling number of fees makes it difficult for passengers to determine the actual costs of flying. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
How would you like to have insurance for your computer network? Something to protect your hardware, software, and give you peace of mind and make you feel okay leaving the office every night. Well, using Turnkey IT for installation and support of your systems is like having insurance for your computer network. For one affordable monthly payment, your company gets a full team of certified technicians who are there for you, working in the background to ensure your systems are up and running. I'll help you over the phone, and they'll make house calls to your workplace. And Turnkey IT doesn't wait until there's an emergency call because they work hard to take preventative measures to keep your network secure, backed up, and running nonstop. Turnkey IT can protect your network with the Turnkey experience, where everything is included: Office 365 hosting, advanced network protection, cloud backup, disaster recovery, and so much more. And that unlimited remote and on-site support is essential. So find out what Turnkey IT can do for your company today. It's easy. Visit turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro.
Earnings vary based on your effort. Message and data rates may apply.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and next week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text MONEY15 to 99,000. Seating is extremely limited. Text in the next 10 minutes and you'll also receive a free copy of Than's Money for Deals guide. Text MONEY15 to 99,000. That's MONEY15 to 99,000.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I've had 10 major surgeries, including 3 brain surgeries. And I have extreme rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, and fibromyalgia. And I wanted to let him know that his balance of nature have helped boost my immune system so much because I'm on injectable medications for the rheumatoid, and they bring down your immune system. Since I've been taking balance of nature, I haven't gotten a cold, nothing. It really helped me tremendously.
Good health is only a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Whether you like it or not, winter is right around the corner. As the leaves start to turn, you may be wondering if the vehicle you depend on every day to take the kids to school, run errands, and get to work is prepared to handle another Chicagoland winter. Don't worry, Joe Cotton Ford has you covered during their Ford SUV sales event. Now through September 30th, you'll save thousands when you select from hundreds of in-stock new Ford SUVs and crossovers. As one of the highest repeat customer dealerships in Chicagoland, the team at Joe Cotton Ford has been working with generations of Ford buyers and their families. They'll offer you a different car buying experience. In fact, your satisfaction is their top priority. And remember, Joe Cotton Ford is open in both sales and service. They service all vehicles, even on Saturday. It's easy. Schedule your service appointment now at joecottonford.com. Get to Joe Cotton Ford today and drive home your new Ford car, truck, or SUV. Gary and North Avenue and Carroll Stream, or at joecottonford.com. That's joecottonford.com.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. We all know increasing revenue's tough, but did you know that 100% of main sources of income fail? The odds are 100% that your current main source of income will someday no longer exist. 439 of 1955's original Fortune 500 are no longer around, yet their industries and even their product lines still thrive. What happened to these companies? Simple. They didn't believe that 100% of main sources of income fail. They never added a second revenue model. For years, my friends at Income Store have helped both households and businesses build second, third, and even fourth revenue streams. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out incomestore.com. That's incomestore.com.
Go to incomestore.com today. That's incomestore.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Yeah, hello, Randy Newman. You said you have 5 besties, Amy?
Yeah, what do you have, Dan? What you
I
got?
don't need another friend. I already have 2. I mean, how many more friends does a guy need?
Yeah, Freaks and Geeks. Great show. Nice poll by Justin there.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll talk to Ramesh Panaru from Bloomberg and National Review about the last best chance for Republicans to replace Obamacare at 7:07.
But first, let's go into our good friend. Here's Mike Scott.
Chicago's setting a record for hot weather. Son wants answers after his mother was found dead at a Burr Ridge Health Club. WIND Chicago News Time, 7 o'clock.
A lot of people haven't heard yet from their loved ones in Puerto Rico. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
It's hard, I have uncles and aunts over there that,
live in the poor sections, their house in the mountains.
She's in Massachusetts, unable to reach them by phone after Hurricane Maria hammered the U.S. territory. Power is out on the entire island. Homes and buildings were damaged. There's flooding. Maria has regained strength back to a Category 3 hurricane, but it's moving away from land.
It's going to skim the Dominican Republic, and then we think east of the Turks and Caicos, east of the Bahamas, and our fingers are crossed because we think it's going to remain off the East Coast.
Fox meteorologist Janice Dean. It's up to at least 245 people dead in Tuesday's Mexican earthquake. 3 survivors were pulled out of the rubble of an office building last night as rescuers keep digging down, trying to free a girl found alive in a collapsed school.
Thousands of official search and rescue workers and the thousands upon thousands of ordinary Mexican civilians who are doing their best to help in what President Peña Nieto says is an urgent operation. He says the focus remains and will remain for the moment on finding those who may have survived.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt in Mexico City. There's a new financial hack and an update on the Equifax attack. Fox's Ginny Casola has details live.
Dave, the information system used by the Securities and Exchange Commission was hacked last year. The SEC discovered in August the hackers were even able to trade on confidential information posted by companies. And we're learning the Equifax hacking was apparently going on for months before it was detected. The Wall Street Journal says cyber criminals were in the site last March. Equifax discovered the hacking in July. The personal information of 143 million Americans was exposed. Dave?
Jenny, an Oklahoma City police officer remains on leave after the deadly shooting Tuesday night of a man approaching with a metal pipe. He didn't respond to orders to drop it. Turns out he was deaf. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Sunrise in Chicago, 73 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Chicago coming off record-breaking heat yesterday. National Weather Service says we may again break records today. The Illinois Supreme Court scheduled a rule later today on whether former Bolingbrook police officer Drew Peterson was properly convicted of murder in the death of his third wife. The court announcing it would release its opinion on Peterson's appeal of his 2012 conviction in the death of Kathleen Savio. The son of a Chicago woman wants answers after his mother was found dead in July at a health club in southwest suburban Burr Ridge. Patricia Austin's body was discovered July 14th in a bathroom stall at Lifetime Fitness. Video shows her entering the club 2 days earlier, but she's never seen coming out. A lawyer for one of the Wheaton College football players accused of hazing a teammate says his client is frustrated and disappointed by the charges that have been set against him. Speaking to reporters yesterday, Noah Spielman's attorney is questioning why police handed down the charges this week.
There were multiple investigations. The NCAA did an investigation. The university, Wheaton College, did an investigation. He was exonerated in both arenas.
The Columbus, Ohio native is the son of former NFL All-Pro linebacker and current Fox Sports analyst Chris Spielman. State Senator Kwame Raoul has thrown his hat in the ring to replace retiring Illinois Attorney General Lisa Madigan. Chicago native saying yesterday he is running for the Democratic nomination. He's a former assistant Cook County prosecutor. Cubs' 7-game winning streak comes to an end after an 8-1 loss to the Rays. Now the Cubs open up a big 4-game series with the Brewers tonight in Milwaukee, 3.5 games ahead of the Brew Crew for first in the NL Central. Astros ran their winning streak to 6 with a 4-3 win over the White Sox. The news service of Napa Auto Parts. This month, Valvoline Full Synthetic Motor Oil is on sale for $5.59 a quart at any participating Napa Auto Parts store. Quality parts, helpful people, that's Napa know-how. General States prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Are you satisfied that your business is being seen effectively online? Call 866-SEEN-360. That's 866-SEEN-360 and discover how you can capture a larger share of traffic, leads, and sales from your online advertising. Call 866-SEEN-360 for a proven system to market your business online that includes unique reporting that tracks and confirms that you're being seen. Call today and talk to a digital expert who can provide your business with a comprehensive strategy. That's 866-SEEN-360.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
Are you satisfied that your business is being seen effectively online? Call 866-SEEN-360. That's 866-SEEN-360 and discover how you can capture a larger share of traffic, leads, and sales from your online advertising. Call 866-SEEN-360 for a proven system to market your business online that includes unique reporting that tracks and confirms that you're being seen. Call today and talk to a digital expert who can provide your business with a comprehensive strategy. That's 866-SEEN-360.
7:06 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. And a car fire reported on Lower Wacker in downtown Chicago, east of Michigan Avenue at Stetson. Traffic is able to get through at the moment. Eden's inbound 27 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 20. The Kennedy, 44 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 19 from Montrose, 18 in the Express. Outbound 36 minutes to O'Hare. The Eisenhower, an hour and 4 minutes, Thorndale to the post office. 49 minutes from Mannheim. Outbound 43 to Thorndale. Northbound I-55 delays start at 126, and it's 57 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 47. Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 36 minutes, I-80 to the merge of Bishop Ford, 49. Northbound Lakeshore Drive for the 18th Drive to Jackson. Northbound Tri-States, though, 115th to 75th. From the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue Curve. Veterans Memorial, stop and go, I-55 to the Reagan Tollway. The other tollways are good. Westbound 8094, it's heavy Broadway decline. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Heat wave continuing through Monday. Today mostly sunny and humid, high 93. Mostly clear and humid tonight with a low 71. A mostly sunny and humid day tomorrow, high 93, and a clear night with a low of 70. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
It is 73 at O'Hare. Next news at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Are you sure your business is being seen online? Visit BeingSeen360.com to discover how being seen online can improve traffic, leads, and sales. BeingSeen360.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And so all the buzz about the Republicans' last best chance to replace Obamacare, which is scheduled for a Senate vote next week, the Cassidy-Graham legislation, is about Jimmy Kimmel helping to mainstream the discussion by offering his take on it, because he has spoken previously with Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy. He had Bill Cassidy on the show. Mm-hmm. Not happy with Bill Cassidy and this legislation because Jimmy Kimmel understands girls bouncing on trampolines, but he doesn't understand health care policy. And, frankly, it's just conventional left-wing pap that he was smearing across the TV sets around America yesterday. Here's what Kimmel had to say after playing a clip of what Bill Cassidy said to him.
I'm sorry, he does not understand.
Oh, I get it. I don't understand because I'm a talk show host, right? Well, and then help me out. Which part don't I understand? Is it the part where you cut $243 billion from federal health care assistance? Am I not understanding the part where states would be allowed to let insurance companies price you out of coverage for having pre-existing conditions? Maybe I don't understand the part of your bill in which federal funding disappears completely after 2026. Or maybe it was the part where the plans are no longer required to pay for essential health benefits like maternity care or pediatric visits, or the part where the American Medical Association.
Yeah, you get it.
And well, he thinks he's the moral authority on healthcare because his son had heart surgery and needs 2 more heart surgeries.
And so to answer his question, which part does he understand? All the parts. All the parts that he ticked off, he doesn't understand. For actual understanding of what Cassidy Graham does and does not do, we're pleased to be joined by Ramesh Ponnuru, not a late-night talk show host, but a healthcare policy expert. He's a columnist for Bloomberg View and senior editor for National Review. Ramesh, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on again.
So the this last best chance for Republican replace of Obamacare and the demagoguery that you're hearing, not just from Jimmy Kimmel, but from Democrats on the topic, can you separate the hype from the reality of what Cassidy Graham portends to do?
Well, boy, it's going to be hard because there is a lot of hysteria that's run rampant that Jimmy Kimmel is certainly contributing to, and he just doesn't understand a lot of the things that he was talking about. The fact that the bill does not provide for funding after 2026 does not mean that in 2026, all of a sudden, Congress is going to stop funding health care. That's a completely absurd scenario. Kimmel has said that the plan would throw 30 million people off of health insurance. We don't have even a close to accurate estimate on this, but if it's anything like previous bills that have followed the same pattern, what you'd probably get from the Congressional Budget Office is an estimate that about 15 million people, as soon as you get rid of the individual mandate and stop fining them for not getting health insurance, they'll stop getting health insurance. But they're not being kicked off. They'll be choosing to go without insurance because they don't think that Obamacare compliant insurance is worth the money to them. And I think one other point that's really very easily lost in all this, look, this plan gives some flexibility to the states. It does cut some spending. It gets rid of the individual mandate. But most of the spending, the taxes, and the regulations in Obamacare, it leaves in place.
Well, Jimmy Kimmel,
it's a very modest piece of legislation. Sorry, Amy.
Senator Bill Cassidy, who appeared on Kimmel's show, said that he would not flunk the Jimmy Kimmel test, and people should know that the Jimmy Kimmel test, according to Cassidy, would the child born with a congenital heart disease be able to get everything he or she needs in the first year of life? So does this new proposal accomplish that? Or is it too hard to tell?
It is a little hard to tell. But the Kimmel test has also been described as nobody should go without needed medical care, regardless of income. Mm-hmm. And depending on how stringent your view of that is, it's possible to say that Graham Cassidy doesn't pass that test, but neither does Obamacare. Neither do most single-payer healthcare systems. There is no system in which having money doesn't help you to get better health care. There are a range of possible systems that make a good faith effort to try to get medical care to those who need it. Graham Cassidy certainly qualifies under that. The scenario, in terms of the congenital heart thing, what Kimmel's trying to say, well, a lot of these opponents are trying to say, is that people with pre-existing conditions and people who sympathize with people with pre-existing conditions have this enormous political power, and they're going to be able to sink this bill in Congress. But at the same time, they're not going to be able to have any effect on anything that the state government does. That's kind of absurd, right? The idea that the state government is going to decide we are not going to do anything to take care of people with pre-existing conditions. If that were true, then this tactic wouldn't be effective in the first place.
And because of the political power that you're describing, both the big insurers who Kimmel's in bed with, unbeknownst to him, the big drug companies who he's in bed with, unbeknownst to him, but because of the concern you express, is that why you're suggesting that the bill include a prohibition on states from using funds to set up a single payer?
Well, I think that the one problem with the legislation is that it makes it easier for state governments to just pay for the health care of people and get them signed up for government-run health care than it does to have to move towards a private system, because actually a lot of the regulations you've got to keep in place. And the trade-off conservatives want to generally make is to deregulate and in that way make it possible for people to buy cheaper insurance on their own. And you've got to, I think, be even-handed on this. And if you're going to let states experiment with more government-centric healthcare systems, you've got to also let them experiment with more privately run healthcare systems.
Well, right. But so then there's really not a concern because about single payer necessarily, maybe in California, I don't know, but because the block granting and frankly the declining coverage in terms of dollars from the federal government for expanding Medicaid, let's say, as is the case with 31 states or in Obamacare, the states won't be able to finance that takeover.
Yeah, I think that's right. Even California and Vermont have found the challenges of actually financing single payer are too daunting for these extremely liberal states to actually put in place. And it tells you something about this left-wing enthusiasm for single payer right now, that when you actually have to sit down and try to figure out a way to make the accounting work, people don't do it. But I do think that you'd have some piecemeal movements in that direction, that you'd have some states just taking, subgroups of the population and getting them in government-run insurance.
Why is Senator Rand Paul, already leaning towards a no vote on this?
I don't think Rand Paul's position, as stated, makes any sense at all, because what he's saying is this doesn't get rid of all of Obamacare. It doesn't get rid of enough of Obamacare. Therefore, I'm not going to vote for getting rid of any of Obamacare. And he's taken votes in the past where he was willing to get rid of parts of Obamacare. The famous skinny repeal bill of a month or two ago, he voted for it. He voted to just get rid of the individual mandate and the employer mandate without touching any of Obamacare spending or taxes. So it's baffling, and you just wonder how well he understands these issues. Is he sort of the Jimmy Kimmel of the Senate?
Oh boy,
Oh.
those are fighting words. It's going to be Kimmel and Kilmeade on the undercard, and then you and Rand Paul for the main event. Hey, listen, the criticism from conservatives about previous iterations of Replace was didn't do enough to reduce premiums quick enough. How does Cassidy Graham measure up?
Well, I think the answer is going to be it depends on which state you're in. If a state takes maximum advantage of the new flexibility that the law promises, then I think they can reduce some premiums. Some of the versions of the bill have in the past been found to reduce premiums, and it's going to depend on how aggressive the state government is.
All right. He is Ramesh Ponnuru, columnist for Bloomberg View, senior editor for National Review. Ramesh, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Take care.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next is Gen X, our last hope. But first, here's your forecast. You've heard about it, the heat and humidity, and you'll feel it once you walk outside the door. It's like a nasty slap on the face. Summer-like temperatures in September, that's for sure. A high of 92 today, a high of 92 tomorrow, and over the weekend in the mid to low 90s. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Dan. Good morning. Eden's inbound delays start at Niles Center Road, 25 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 21. The Kennedy, 47 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 21 from Montrose, 22 in the Express. Outbound, 19 minutes to Montrose, 36 to the airport. The Eisenhower, an hour and 11 minutes. Thorndale to the post office, 56 minutes from Mannheim. Outbound, 45 to Thorndale. Stevenson, 57 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, 44 from the Tri-State. Outbound, 47 minutes to 355. The Ryan, 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 36 minutes, I-80 to the bridge. Bishop Ford, 49. Tri-State southbound at Stop and Go, 120 to 137. Northbound from 115th to 75th. From the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis. And from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue Curve. The Adams and Reagan Tollways are 5. Veterans Memorial, really jammed. I-55 most of the way to Roosevelt. Jim Telemonte, the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Roof is needy?
Call Crumweedy.
Roof is leaky?
Call Crumweedy.
Shingles are curly?
Call Crumweedy.
Roof isn't right after it's stormy?
Call Crumweedy.
Here comes winter. Well, soon. This is Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson of Crumweedy.
A third-generation family business.
We're conservative just like you.
We've been doing Chicagoland roofs since 1953.
Really good roofs.
The difference is installation.
Hey, we know that. That's why we follow the manufacturer specifications, so your warranty is totally intact.
A lot of companies don't do that, and that could void your warranty.
Hate the high pressure?
Not from us.
We give you multiple options. Then you choose.
A roof that lasts at a fair price.
We fix roof problems.
When your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy. We say call. How about the number?
630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
myroofisneedy.com. Hey, do it now. Get it done before the winter comes.
Crumweedy. We fix roof problems.
Earnings vary based on your effort. Message and data rates may apply.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and next week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text MONEY15 to 99,000. Seating is extremely limited. Text in the next 10 minutes and you'll also receive a free copy of Than's Money for Deals guide. Text MONEY15 to 99,000. That's MONEY15 to 99,000.
Hi, I'm Lex Howard, CEO of Balance of Nature. I occasionally take new customer calls, and too often people tell me that they have heard our advertisements for years. If Balance of Nature is not currently being delivered to your doorstep, start now and begin experiencing the benefits of Balance of Nature in your life. Call and see how you can get your free month supply.
I noticed a difference in the first month.
I got rid of most of my other vitamins. I feel pretty good, even though I'm an old guy, 77. I think it's doing great.
I just feel good. I just believe they're really what they say they are.
Good health is only a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to find out how to get your free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code CHICAGO.
We're clearing out summer inventory at the Yellow Tag clearance sale at Lumber Liquidators. Take 20% off Woodlook waterproof floors with coupon, like top-rated Avella Woodlook tile and Click ceramic plank. Get 10 to 23% off all Dream Home X2O water-resistant laminate and 10% off all Builder's Pride and Virginia Millworks pre-finished hardwood. More from 39 cents and take an extra 10% off clearance at your local store. Plus special financing. Look for the Yellow Tag clearance deals at Lumber Liquidators today.
Worry less with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, thought you were going to be stuck at the repair shop with your car for a few hours.
I did too, but Liberty Mutual saved me from that nightmare.
Liberty did what?
Yep, with Liberty, I can get a repair estimate right on my phone. I just took a few photos of the dent and hit send. Now I just have to worry about getting the kids to soccer on time.
Wait, kids? Soccer? I gotta go!
Oh, bye.
Visit us online to get a quote. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Availability varies by state. Other restrictions apply. Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company.
chronic headaches, constant sinus infections, pain and pressure. The fatigue was overwhelming.
That's Karen. She suffered for years with chronic sinus infections. She'd go to urgent care, see her doctor.
And we would do the same thing: steroids, antibiotics, nasal sprays.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office called the Smart Sinus Procedure.
I felt better right away. Now my sinus cavities are open. You can breathe on a constant basis and not get sinus infections. I don't get headaches anymore. I don't take naps anymore. I'm like, oh, this is miraculous.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, headaches? Find out if the Smart Sinus Procedure is right for you. It's covered by Medicare and most insurance. Set an appointment today with Smart Sinus. And with your deductibles met, now may be the best time to call. Call 847-873-8776. 847-873-8776. That's 847-873-8776.
Are you stuck in a bad home mortgage? Well, join the club that has about 10 million other American families. But I may be able to help you. My name is Lou Bridges. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Lou Bridges & Associates. We've been helping distressed homeowners like you for over 8 years now. Give us a call. We provide free consultations. I guarantee you it will not be a sales pitch. We will give you our honest legal analysis, counsel, recommendations, and advice regarding your options.
We are experts in doing loan modifications successfully. We know the regs. We understand the process. Most importantly, we don't take no for an answer. We fight. We are prepared, and we win. We save houses. We make houses affordable. So if you want to keep your house affordable, contact us.
Go to bridgeslaw.net or call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231.
Remember, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, I guarantee you'll never be alone in this country.
There's a place where you can get custom metal products. If you manage a commercial kitchen, hotel, condo building, or food-grade manufacturing plant, then no matter the type of metal or size of the project, the skillfully trained fabrication team at Vans Industrial has you covered.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. Custom metal fabrication is the backbone of my company. We fabricate stainless steel countertops, wall coverings, hoods, landscape planter boxes, industrial fan housings, and more. Vans Industrial uses all types of alloys like carbon steel, aluminum, brass, and polished stainless steel. And we have a laser cutting machine. Our laser can customize almost any project. Our team can design, fabricate, and install your project today.
Call 219-931-4881 today for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's V-A-N-S industrial.com. Vans Industrial. Customizing for you, the customer.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, I got an idea how to end this North Korea threat. Here's the deal. Jong-un gives up his nuclear program.
In exchange for?
We waive all of the parking tickets that have gone unpaid by North Korea in New York City, and we throw in Dennis Rodman.
How bad are the parking tickets? Because I know if it's over 200 here, you get the boot, the Denver boot.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps we could put a boot on Jong-un's fleet of diplomatic cars at minimum. North Korea's diplomatic mission from NBC in New York.
Yeah.
Owes New York City more than $156,000 in parking tickets dating back to the 1990s.
Okay, so I think there's some favoritism going on that they haven't towed or impounded those cars if it's that big of a price tag. $156,000.
Now, Jong
cost
Joe,
of a house in Galesburg, Illinois.
Jong Joe.
Jung Jo.
You know Jung Jo.
Yeah, you mean Jung Jo?
The secretary of the government's North Korean government's UN mission said that it's not
How's
true.
Jung Jo doing?
More American propaganda.
Oh, yeah, it's our fault.
Yeah.
They don't pay their bills, and it's our fault.
Whenever we have a ticket, no, he says they do pay.
Oh.
Because, if we have 3 tickets, the city does not allow us to renew their permission to be here. That's Jung Jo's answer. He does sound like he's steeped in the rules and parking regs of New York City.
Who do you believe?
Not North Korea. That's my kind of standard posture.
Are there other diplomats from other countries that have ignored their parking violations?
Well, yeah. According to NBC5, Syria, Iran, China racked up even more unpaid charges. We could hold that over China, too, so they stop pirating our technology.
China.
Well, we'll waive your parking tickets if you... This could be a new tool in the diplomatic toolbox, huh? Waiving parking tickets for rogue nations and their diplomatic missions to the UN. By the way, do you... the Zhangzhou, does that have MSG?
Zhangzhou. I don't know, but you'll get hungry a half hour after you eat it. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, what's with the Obama administration apparently spying on political opponents? We'll go through the latest with Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters, Fox News strategic analyst at 7:37.
But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
73 degrees, heating up today to a high near 92. While Hurricane Maria devastated Puerto Rico, it's now lashing the Dominican Republic. It's not expected to be a problem for Florida. Computer modeling continues to show the now Category 3 storm turning to the north and northeast, well away from the U.S. mainland. However, House Speaker Paul Ryan has a message for residents of Puerto Rico.
To our fellow citizens in Puerto Rico, they are right now front and center in our thoughts and in our prayers. We want them to know that the federal response will be there.
Power is out to nearly the entire country of Puerto Rico. However, forecasters say Maria will produce swells, making for potentially dangerous conditions for the next day or so along the island nations in the Caribbean and for beachgoers along the Atlantic coast. Rescuers are racing against time as they search for survivors trapped beneath crumbled buildings in central Mexico in the wake of the country's deadliest earthquake in 32 years. Tuesday's magnitude 7.1 quake left at least 245 dead. Search crews and volunteers are desperately trying to reach several children believed to be alive beneath the wreckage of a collapsed school. Ohio Governor John Kasich says the latest Senate Republican plan to repeal and replace Obamacare is a bad deal for him. Former Republican presidential candidate says it hurts those who can't afford health care.
What it does is it takes the Medicaid expansion along with the money that was set aside to provide subsidies to people so they could buy health care. It cuts it right off the bat by 17%.
Kasich also says it allows insurance companies to charge as much as they want for pre-existing conditions. The Illinois Supreme Court scheduled to rule today on whether former Bolingbrook Police Sergeant Drew Peterson was properly convicted of murder in the death of his third wife. That happened in 2012 in the conviction in the death of Kathleen Savio. The son of a Chicago woman is demanding answers after his mother was found dead in July at a health club in Burr Ridge. Patricia Austin's body was discovered July 14th at a bathroom stall at Lifetime Fitness. Surveillance video shows her entering the club 2 days earlier, but she's never seen coming out. Albertsons beginning to think outside of the box. A move billed as a first for a national grocery chain. Albertsons is shelling out around $200 million to buy the healthy meal kit delivery startup Plated. Wall Street Journal this morning says Plated will become a subsidiary of Albertsons, and customers will be able to utilize the delivery service or pick up meals at their nearest grocery store. Cubs' 7-game win streak comes to an end with an 8-1 loss to the Rays. Astros over the White Sox, 4-3. It may be the preseason, but it's always a game when the Blackhawks take on the Red Wings. It's a preseason affair tonight at the UC. The news service of Accountemps. Do you need accounting and finance pros for a long-term or reoccurring project? If you prefer the same professional to handle your project from start to finish, Accountemps Salary Professional Service is your solution. Learn more at Accountemps.com. Accountemps is a Robert Half company. 7:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The founder of Black Lives Matter said white racist hate speech is not free speech.
The Joe Walsh Show.
Again, somebody stupid on the left, not understanding our Constitution, not understanding the First Amendment. Hate speech is protected.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Jim Durkin, founding partner of the Martech Group, a global market research firm based in Chicago since 1985 and a longtime customer of Signature Bank. When our business moved to our current Loop location, I recall seeing Mick O'Rourke and his two business partners, Brian Duncan and Kevin Bastuga, laying the foundation for Signature Bank. When Signature opened its doors in 2006, I was proud to move our accounts there and become a shareholder. Being in the consulting business, the Martech Group has a keen understanding of the value of relationships, trust, and attentiveness. Whether dealing with our U.S. practice or our international operations, Signature Bank is always there when we need them. That's why the Martech Group is proud to have Signature Bank as a valued business partner.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. Learn more about turning your business vision into reality. Visit signature-bank.com. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
7:35. Let's get an update on the roads and the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. 8094 eastbound traffic is stop and go from the Bishop Ford Freeway to Torrance Avenue. Rollover crash in the right lane. Indiana westbound 8094 is heavy Broadway decline. Eden's 24 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 21. The Kennedy 52 minutes. O'Hare to downtown outbound 36. The Eisenhower an hour and 11 minutes. Thorndale to the post office outbound at 45 minutes. Stevenson 57 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive outbound 47. Ryan, 27 minutes from 95th to the Loop, southbound Tri-State. Jammed solid 21 to 137. There's a crash there in the left lane. Northbound delays are 115th to 75th from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis. Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. Traffic service at Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco for Washington Honeycrisp apples, just $2.49 a pound. Get 6-ounce Atlantic salmon portions for $3.99 each. And save on selected 2 liters of 7-Up or Dr. Pepper products, only 79 cents each when you buy in multiples of 4. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. A sunny day ahead. Temps breaking the record likely of 92 set back in 1970. Warm and humid overnight, low 71. Currently, we have 73 degrees. Next news at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Financial Planning with Jack Tabota, your 401k specialist, whose goal is to protect, preserve, and grow your wealth. Saturday mornings at 7.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy comes your way now. And make sure to join me, Larry Elder, tonight at 7, only on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So, in March of 2016, former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off, James Clapper, he definitively spoke about FISA warrants and that there were no FISA warrants issued to surveil Trump the candidate or Trump campaign associates. According to CNN stories, that's not the case. In fact, there were FISA warrants issued, one the month after Trump secured the nomination and the second in October before the election last year. And so how do we square the circle? Well, James Clapper was asked to do so. First, Clapper on Meet the Press back in March of 16.
Let me start with the president's tweets yesterday. This idea that maybe President Obama ordered an illegal wiretap of his offices. If something like that happened, would this be something you would be aware of?
I would certainly hope so. I can say, obviously I can't speak officially anymore, but I will say that for the part of the national security apparatus that I oversaw as DNI, there was no such wiretap activity mounted against the president-elect at the time, or as a candidate, or against his campaign. I can't speak for other Title III authorized entities in the government or a state or local entity.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if the FBI, for instance, had a FISA court order of some sort for a surveillance, would that be information you would know or not know?
Yes.
You would be told this?
I would know that.
If there was a FISA court order on something like this?
Something like this, absolutely.
And at this point, you can't confirm or deny whether that exists?
I can deny it.
There is no FISA court order.
Not to my knowledge.
Of anything at Trump Tower?
No.
And of course, let me correct. I said March of 16. Obviously, that was March of this year, March of
Right.
17. So when Trump was tweeting about the surveillance state and Obama wiretapped him and all that jazz, that's James Clapper responding to that. Now, James Clapper yesterday with Don Lemon on CNN being asked about the CNN stories that suggest, well, there were warrants issued and surveillance done.
Again, I stand on that statement that you just replayed, and I cannot comment on the media reporting, which is all we have, about a FISA warrant allegedly lodged against Mr. Manafort. I can't comment on that. I will simply reiterate what I said in March, and I stand on that.
So did you know about a FISA warrant against Paul Manafort at the time?
I did not.
You did not. Okay.
And again, I have to say that what we have is media reporting only.
Yeah, so he's essentially suggesting that the media reporting is not the final verdict on whether or not this occurred. Okay, fair enough. But he was definitive on Meet the Press, and I know he said he stands by that statement, but now he seems to be, I didn't know about it if it did occur. Meet the Press in March, it didn't occur. Those are two different things. And I think they're important as this matter unfolds, and it'd be interesting to get a little bit more reporting and perhaps some leaking from the Mueller Special Prosecutorial Team, since they're leaking all kinds of things related to Paul Manafort, including his alleged pending indictment, that this other part of the story, which includes actual crimes we know, like the unmasking of General Flynn, got a little bit more investigative look and a little bit more coverage, don't you think? We'll put that question to our friend, Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters, retired U.S. Army officer, columnist, author, and strategic analyst for Fox News Channel's latest book, Judgment at Appomattox. Colonel Peters, thanks for joining us.
Oh, glad to speak to you both again.
So what about James Clapper's massaging the statement that he made back in March on Meet the Press?
I think Clapper was probably being honest. I think he really didn't know. FISA warrants, I mean, you kind of look at it. When you're first of all, it's hard to get a FISA warrant. Mm-hmm. But when you get one, you're looking at issues such as espionage against the United States or extreme corrupt practices. And the last thing you want to do is announce it publicly, hey, we just got a FISA warrant to go after Paul Manafort.
No, but that's not the problem. The problem is
no, you're wrong.
Well, wait a second.
Is criminality on the part of Paul Manafort and others. You're focusing on technicalities and timelines. You're not focusing on the crimes. And unmasking Mike Flynn. Look, I've known Mike since '85. Mike Flynn betrayed this country, in my view. Why aren't you focusing on that? Why focus on James Clapper when you've got clear crimes and misdemeanors happening in regard to Russia?
Okay.
Are you soft on Russia? Do you think Russia's
here we go. Here we go again. If I want to ask a question about James Clapper, I'm soft on Russia. If Paul Manafort committed crimes, he should be indicted and prosecuted. I have no interest in protecting Paul Manafort or anyone else. The question is, James Clapper saying, Meet the Press, if there was a warrant issued, I would know about it. That's what he said.
Yeah,
and now he's saying, I don't know.
They may not have trusted him.
Right. And by the way, FISA warrants, they're difficult to get. For 6 years, there was 0 FISA warrant requests denied.
Yeah, but that's because we know how to do it, and you get all your ducks in a row, and you take it to a federal judge. I mean, this is not something that gets handed out like candy. So, I mean, I just think that focusing on when the FISA warrant was issued is instead of focusing on the alleged attempts to betray our country. I mean, which is more important, the date of the FISA warrant or whether someone betrayed our country?
If Paul Manafort, I mean, first of all, even the reports are suggesting, violations of foreign business practices and tax evasion and so those sorts of things. I don't know. I don't know what Paul Manafort did or didn't do. If he betrayed our country, then just as other people have betrayed our country that the previous administration wasn't particularly exercised about, like, I don't know, Chelsea Manning, then I would suggest that Paul Manafort being prosecuted under the law to the fullest extent of it. Fine. That's not the same thing as to say that President Trump or anybody else with the Trump administration has done the things that are being bandied about by Adam Schiff and a lot of others, including some Republicans. And there's not a lot of evidence to support it. And, oh, by the way, I'm concerned about the surveillance state, too. You can be concerned about two things. So I'm concerned about anybody who would betray our country, of course. I'm also concerned about the surveillance state and the possibility not raised by, wait, just one.
Define surveillance state. You're throwing these terms around.
Yes, I will. I'll be specific. What the Wall Street Journal has opined about this week in the wake of the CNN stories we started the segment with, which is the idea that the Obama administration was spying on political opponents. And there are legitimate questions that should be asked and answered with respect to what went on during that campaign directed by the Obama administration and who within that administration.
I'm certainly not going to defend the Obama administration, which was the worst in its time, the worst in the history of the United States, at least since James Buchanan in the 1850s. But, people throw these terms around. Deep state, ooh, the boogeyman's coming. Surveillance state, ooh, they're peeking into my bedroom to see what kind of brand of condoms I use. It doesn't work like that. I've been part of the state. I've been part of intelligence. First of all, we're too busy to spy on the average American. There's a finite number of people. And we are trying, the people that work in the intelligence community, to keep America safe, period. There's no chicanery. The intelligence community, the rank and file workers down there, they're not trying to spin campaigns one way or the other. They're trying to defend us. And when you have people like Michael Flynn, like Paul Manafort, like any number of others associated with the Trump campaign, having clearly untoward and allegedly criminal ties to Russia and Russian entities, Russian oligarchs, Russian organized crime, I think that merits being investigated. Now, I am not, sticking up for the people like Adam Schiff either. I'm not. Let's just let the system play out. Our justice system is not infallible, but it's the best in the world. It's very, very good. And by the way, the defendant gets the benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
So instead of jumping to contusions, as the Bowery Boys used to say in the old serial, we should let the Mueller investigation play out. And let's see what facts we can bring to the court.
I got to ask a question here. Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters, do you think that they started the Manafort investigation to get to then candidate Trump?
No.
You sure about that?
Because the FBI doesn't work like that. The FBI really tries to do the right thing by the United States of America, and I have been privileged to very briefly work with those guys at times, and they're amazing. And you also hear people say, well, where's the proof? Where's the proof? The special investigator does not. He doesn't work for 24/7 news shows. The special investigator, Robert Mueller, the special counsel, he is slowly and methodically building cases. That's what the FBI does.
Yes.
Sometimes FBI cases take years to build against organized crime. They go after conspiracies. They go after networks. They're not concerned about bringing charges today. They're concerned about getting everybody. And I trust the FBI. I trust our intelligence community. And it's been a tremendous disservice to the American people that people in the media have blindly, with no knowledge, with no inside knowledge or personal experience, have attacked the FBI, have attacked our intelligence community. I mean, those people are patriots.
Yeah,
and anybody that's criticizing, I would say, what have you done for America lately?
Okay, well, so here's a couple of things. It seems to me that we're conflating some issues. One is nobody suggests that the FBI, the intelligence community, are not, generally speaking, exactly who you say they are. But television hosts have questioned that. Let me finish the point. But just as the justice system, as you rightly point out, is not infallible, neither are prosecutors, neither are intelligence agents, neither are FBI directors. And by the way, Jim Comey's performance over the last year hasn't exactly inspired a lot of trust in the FBI for all kinds of legitimate reasons. So I don't. It's one thing to say blanket attacks on these institutions. Okay, that's fair. It's another thing to say legitimate questions about specific actors within these institutions.
But I think that shifts the focus away from the criminals onto the cops. I mean, certainly, everything has to be questioned. But that's why this will, if there is hard evidence of crimes and misdemeanors or treason, it will go to a court. And the court will decide. The FBI doesn't get to decide, hey, you're guilty, you go to jail.
Right.
And a special prosecutor will build the evidence. He will take it openly to a court, except for classified information, of course, which is behind closed doors. And then ultimately, it may go to jury trial, in which case everything has to come out. And so, I just have great faith in the United States of America and our justice system. I just am bewildered by the desire to shift the blame in this case away from the alleged perpetrators like Paul Manafort and onto our finest institutions of law enforcement.
Well, it's not about, I mean, from this perspective, it's not about shifting blame or even assigning blame. It's about the question, are we getting everybody who is blameworthy? And so when the special counsel was announced, it was wide-ranging. There were a lot of paths that he could go on, a lot of different matters with respect to Russian collusion, but that certainly wasn't limited to that, as we've seen. And there are other problem areas like Hillary Clinton and emails that continue to be unearthed by Judicial Watch, like Debbie Wasserman Schultz's IT guy, and why the DNC and her specifically really were not helpful with the investigation into the alleged hacking there. Now this guy, her IT guy, who had access to ostensibly a lot of sensitive information, is under federal indictment as well. I mean, those are other legitimate areas of inquiry, aren't they?
They are, but the special counsel was not appointed to investigate those issues. If there are crimes committed, I mean, Debbie Wasserman Schultz is just a doofus. She's an idiot, wildly out of her depth, and she did stupid things. If she did anything criminal, sure, go after her. Hillary Clinton, my personal feeling is I just wish she'd go away. But if she committed crimes, get them before the statute of limitations.
Be sent away.
What happened?
But Hillary Clinton is not President of the United States. Hillary Clinton is not currently an advisor to the President of the United States. And Robert Mueller is looking specifically at Russian collusion with Russia and Russian agents, and anything tangentially concerned therewith. Now, we just need to focus on that. I mean, the fundamental issue here isn't Debbie Wasserman Schultz, idiot though she is and was. The fundamental issue is Vladimir Putin launched a vast, deep, and wide-ranging campaign to interfere with our national elections. That is what we should be furious about, and we should be very, very angry that Americans made excuses for him, played along, that people like Paul Manafort and Mike Flynn and several others had certainly unsavory ties. I mean, to me, as a former officer, Mike Flynn was a really good soldier, but when he took that uniform off, he did things that even if you conclude they're not criminal, they're things that honorable officers never do. Even after you've been retired for 30 years, you don't take money from Vladimir Putin. You don't take money and perks from our enemies. And so, to me, I think people talking about all these peripheral issues when the issue is Russia tried with everything at its disposal to interfere in the U.S. election. That's what we should all be furious about.
All right, you get the last word. He is Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters, retired U.S. Army officer, strategic analyst for Fox News. The latest book, Judgment at Appomattox. Colonel Peters, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
If you have pain, listen up. Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
After your choice of spouse, where you send your kids to school is the most important decision you make. That's why I'm excited to tell you about Northridge Preparatory School, an independent Catholic school for boys grades 6 through 12. There's no brainwashing that's prevalent elsewhere. Northridge Prep instills the traditional values that you hold as parents. Northridge Prep is all boys with an all-male faculty. They celebrate your son's natural enthusiasm. A good place to be a boy. I'm impressed by the men who teach there. They're great role models who get to the hearts of their students. Their demanding liberal arts curriculum produces well-rounded men with the ability to think for themselves. Northridge Prep grads go on to the best universities, including the Ivy League, have top athletics and arts programs, and are ranked the #1 best all-boys school in Illinois and a top 100 high school in America, according to U.S. News. I strongly encourage you to attend Northridge Prep's open house on October 22nd. To learn more about their October 22nd open house, visit northridgeprep.org. That's northridgeprep.org.
Does how you feel interfere with your lifestyle? Take control before it does. Harvard Medical recently published a paper on how to decrease your risk of cancer, heart disease, blood pressure, diabetes, bowel and vision problems. The answer, backed by dozens of studies, is not vitamins. It's eating more fruits and vegetables in their whole, complete form. 4 simple tips that I've used with my patients over the years are: 1. Keep fruits and vegetables where you can see them readily. 2. Get crazy. Explore the produce aisle and choose something new. 3. Make it a meal. Try new recipes that include more vegetables and fruits. And the easiest of all, to get the complete nutrition of 31 different fruits and vegetables every day, take Balance of Nature.
What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago.
Are you satisfied that your business is being seen effectively online? Call 866-SEEN-360. That's 866-SEEN-360 and discover how you can capture a larger share of traffic, leads, and sales from your online advertising. Call 866-SEEN-360 for a proven system to market your business online that includes unique reporting that tracks and confirms that you're being seen. Call today and talk to a digital expert who can provide your business with a comprehensive strategy. That's 866-SEEN-360.
Earnings vary based on your effort. Message and data rates may apply.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and next week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text MONEY15 to 99,000. Seating is extremely limited. Text in the next 10 minutes and you'll also receive a free copy of Than's Money for Deals guide. Text MONEY15 to 99,000. That's MONEY15 to 99,000.
Our freedom and security are made possible through the service and sacrifice of our military and first responders. The Gary Sinise Foundation provides many outreach programs supporting these brave men and women. Join us. Donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
Are you satisfied that your business is being seen effectively online? Call 866-SEEN-360. That's 866-SEEN-360 and discover how you can capture a larger share of traffic, leads, and sales from your online advertising. Call 866-SEEN-360 for a proven system to market your business online that includes unique reporting that tracks and confirms that you're being seen. Call today and talk to a digital expert who can provide your business with a comprehensive strategy. That's 866-SEEN-360.
I hate cleaning my gutters. I kept hearing ads for that gutter guard system, so I thought, why not? I'll get an estimate. I was shocked. I never thought gutter guards could cost so much. Then I heard about Spring Rock gutter guards. The estimate is free, so it made sense to at least compare them. I was shocked again by how much money they saved me. I'm talking thousands, like enough to take my family to Disney World. They take a different approach to gutter protection. A completely closed design keeps all types of debris out of your gutters. Sure, those higher-priced systems may keep the leaves out, but Spring Rock gets the job done at up to half the price with no compromise on quality. Spring Rock also comes with the same lifetime warranty. If the gutter system ever clogs, they will clean it out for free, no questions asked. Same result for less money. That's smart. There's more than one option when it comes to gutter guards. Compare today and save at springrockgutters.com or call 708-571-0632. Special financing is available. Drain your gutters, not your wallet.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
He's trying to preserve the law he's known for. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Obama trying to stop the latest Senate Republican attempt to replace the health care law he signed.
It's certainly frustrating to have to mobilize every couple of months to keep our leaders from inflicting real human suffering on our constituents.
Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
Vice President Pence on Fox and Friends making the case for getting a deal done soon in the Senate on repealing and replacing Obamacare.
Well, as President Trump and I travel around this country, we've seen real suffering. We've seen people with tears in their eyes talk about insurance that they can't afford, a tax they have to pay and get no coverage at all.
The president has thrown his full support behind the Graham-Cassidy health care bill. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is planning a vote on the measure next week. Right now, it appears there are not enough votes for passage. Dave?
Now, John, Puerto Rico is still out of power the day after Hurricane Maria's direct hit. There's also a lot of damage and flooding, making relatives living in the U.S. antsy and nervous, unable to reach loved ones by phone.
A lot of things go through my mind, wondering how they're doing. I mean, a customer just told me that her sister's house was cement and she lost it.
She's in Florida waiting for word. Thousands remain out of power in Irma-damaged Florida. And a Hollywood nursing home blamed for 9 deaths in the hurricane and sweltering conditions with no AC has had its license suspended. The digging continues in and around earthquake-damaged Mexico City. 3 survivors were freed from a collapsed office last night. Rescuers trying to get to a young girl found alive in the rubble, still trapped. She says her name is Frida, but no relatives have come forward. Another body was pulled from the ruins of her school. Nearly 250 people killed in the quake. A 4-year-old girl has died in Florida at her grandparents' house. Her father tells Tampa police the girl reached into grandma's purse to get candy, but there was also a gun inside and she accidentally pulled the trigger. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Partly cloudy skies, 73 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Chicago coming off a record-breaking day of warmth. National Weather Service says high temps yesterday, 92, breaking the previous high set back in 1931, and we could see more record-breaking high temps today and tomorrow. The Illinois Supreme Court is scheduled to rule on whether former Chicago area police officer Drew Peterson was properly convicted of murder in the death of his third wife, that stemming from a 2012 conviction in the death of Kathleen Savio. Peterson is serving 38 years for Savio's death. He's also serving 40 years for allegedly plotting to kill the prosecutor who put him behind bars. The lawyer for one of the Wheaton College football players accused of hazing a teammate says his client is frustrated and disappointed by the charges against him. Speaking to reporters yesterday, Noah Spielman's attorney questioned why police handed down the charges this week.
There were multiple investigations. The NCAA did an investigation. The university, Wheaton College, did an investigation. He was exonerated in both arenas.
The Columbus, Ohio native is the son of former NFL All-Pro linebacker and current Fox Sports analyst Chris Spielman. Governor Rauner says he's encouraged about Illinois' chances to land Amazon's new headquarters development. As AM 560's David Stewart reports.
Governor Rauner says the joint city-state team sent to Seattle to investigate Amazon's needs for its headquarters learned a lot about the company and came away optimistic.
Our team came away feeling like we're well-positioned, very well-positioned, and we are going to continue to be all in terms of bringing every possible relationship and every possible resource we can to provide a high-quality option for the decision makers at Amazon.
Mayor Emanuel said the Midwestern work ethic would be an asset to the tech giant, which is looking to put $5 billion into a second headquarters that could mean 50,000 jobs. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
Chicago sports. Cubs' 7-game win streak comes to an end with an 8-1 loss to the Rays. Astros ran their winning streak to 6 with a 4-3 victory over the White Sox. The news a service of Experian. Last year, corporate data breaches were up 40%. This year, it could be even worse. Find out if your data is at risk with a free dark web email scan from Experian. In less than a minute, you'll know if your identity is at risk. Go to Experian.com/scan to help keep your identity yours with Experian. 8:04 time for the AM 560 business beat. The dollar is up as the Fed hints at higher interest rates later this year. Gold prices are slumping this morning, lower than it's been since last month as investors move out of gold in overnight trading. The weekly jobless numbers are just in. First-time claims for unemployment benefits are down. 259,000 workers filed initial claims last week, 23,000 fewer. And a big deal in the grocery game. Albertsons getting into the meal kit delivery service in a move billed as a first for a national grocery chain. Albertson buys the healthy meal kit delivery service startup Plated. It's 8:05. Check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Larry Elder doesn't see an answer from experts for climate change.
Do I believe that climate change is real? Yes, because the climate is always changing, which is why they've gone from saying global warming to climate change, because with that it's heads I win, tails you lose. There is no consensus about the degree to which man has participated in this? There certainly is no consensus about what to do about it, whether or not we ought to spend all this money to transfer from a fossil-based fuel to a so-called renewable-based energy.
The Larry Elder Show, weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
8:07. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim.
Like in Highland Park, Sheridan Road is closed. In Lake Cook and Aspen, which is south of Lake Cook, that's due to a crash. Eden's inbound, just 20 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 24. The Kennedy is 56 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 39 from Montrose, 24 in the Express. Outbound 39 to the airport. Inbound Eisenhower. Delays start at North Avenue when it's an hour and 9 minutes. Thorndale to downtown. 56 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 48 to Thorndale. Stevenson an hour and 6 minutes. 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 47 minutes. On Ryan 27 minutes. 95th to downtown. I-57 30 minutes. I-80 to the Merge. Bishop 428. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, heavy Breen Mart to North Avenue, northbound 18th to Jackson. Southbound Tri-State stop and go, 132 to 137 after a crash. Northbound Southwest Highway to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan all the way to the Grand Avenue curve. Veterans Memorial delays, I-55 most the way to Roosevelt and Army Trail to 290. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
The heat wave will continue through Saturday. Mostly sunny and hot today, humid with a high 93. Mostly clear, warm and humid tonight with a low 71. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
Currently 73. Next news coming up at 8:30. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
Are you sure your business is being seen online? Visit beingseen360.com to discover how being seen online can improve traffic, leads, and sales. beingseen360.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And the question is, Generation X our last best hope for America? Forget politics, talk about culture. Is Generation X our last best hope for America? This is a very interesting piece in Vanity Fair by Rich Cohn. It's become clear to me that if this nation has any chance of survival, of carrying its traditions deep into the 21st century, it will be in no small part dependent on members of my generation, Generation X, the last Americans schooled in the old manner.
You're a Generation X, right? Yeah.
Yes. The last Americans that know how to fold a newspaper, take a joke, and listen to a dirty story without losing their minds.
That would be me. Is that you?
Is what me? Am I Generation
Folding
X?
newspapers? Yeah, that's, and take a joke.
Listen to a dirty
Listen
story.
to a dirty joke.
Not PC addled, in other words.
No, we're very self-sufficient.
Cohen describes
down to earth.
Cohen describes Generation X. We're like Humphrey Bogart in Casablanca. We've seen everything and grown tired of history and all the fighting, and so have opened our own little joint at the edge of the desert, the last outpost in a world gone mad, the last light in the last saloon on the darkest night of the year.
And think musically how we've had to suffer through grunge and hip-hop.
Oh, hip-hop. Well, I mean,
You
hip-hop
like hip-hop.
came to the fore in the 80s.
Yeah. You were a break dancer.
I was.
Do you carry your cardboard around with you?
Not anymore. Or
What
my
happened-
boombox.
What happened to your boombox and your cardboard?
I grew up and lost my innocence.
Maybe you could write a book about that. What happened to my boombox?
Here's his take on the baby boomers.
Yes.
AKA the problem.
And I'm not a baby boomer.
The philosophy of the boomers, writes Cohen, which became our culture, is based on a misunderstanding. It was a rejection of the bourgeois life, the man in the gray flannel suit, his suburbs and corporate hierarchy and commute, the simple pleasures of his seemingly unadventurous life. But the old man did not settle beneath the elms because he was boring or empty or plastic. He did it because 10 years before you were born, he killed a German soldier with his bare hands in the woods. Many of the boomers I know believe their parents hid themselves from action. In truth, those World War II fathers were neither hiding nor settling. They were seeking peace, tranquility. They wanted to give their children a fantasy of stability, not because they knew too little, but because they had seen too much. Their children read this quest as emptiness and went away before the fathers could transmute the secret wisdom, the ancient knowledge that allows a society to persist and a person to get through a Wednesday afternoon. We are the last Americans, Generation X, to have the old-time childhood. It was coherent, hands-on, dirty, and fun. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. We'll take apologies from baby boomers as well as comments from heroic Gen Xers about saving America. Patrick on the Northwest Side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, that was a great article. We can't rely on the Gen Xers. I mean, the whole society, the whole cultural war thing is lost. If my father, who was a World War II veteran, were transported from 1941 to right now, he'd be embarrassed.
Well, so you don't think we can rely on the Gen Xers, or is it the baby boomers and the millennials that are the problem?
It's already been lost.
You think it's gone?
The father figure. Forget the father figure. I'm a father of four. That's been struck and beaten down already. I mean, there is no more looking up to the father figure anymore. If anything, it's been rejected by the culture. You look at all the movies right now, it's always the women and the females that are heroes. They're the strong characters. Men have been emasculated.
Is this because of Wonder Woman?
Yes, thanks for the call back. We loved Wonder Woman. We're Gen Xers. We grew up with Linda Carter as Wonder Woman.
Carter.
Loved. You didn't think every kid wanted to be lassoed by Linda Carter and made to tell the truth.
You wanted a spot on her invisible plane. That's what you wanted.
Yeah. Wanted to
I
be
love the bullet.
the navigator.
Those bracelets.
Larry and Schaumburg, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning, Dan and Amy. I got to tell you, this idea terrifies me that the Gen Xers are going to save us. If I'm not mistaken, they spawned the millennials, did they not?
Yeah.
Well, that's true, but the World War generation spawned the boomers, Larry. What do you say to that?
Blow them all up and let's just start all over.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Larry.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, Juan Williams joins us from Fox News. But first, here's your forecast. Heat and humidity for the next 5 days are going to be record-breaking heat, setting records, I should say. They were set back in 1970 and in 1891. That's going to happen on Sunday when we hit a high of 92 degrees. Now let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Good morning. I-80 has delays today eastbound from before I-55 to past Richards and westbound Francis to Briggs. Eden's Expressway, just 20 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 23. Inbound Kennedy, delays start at Foster at 56 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 39 from Montrose, 24 in the Express. Outbound 39 to the airport. The Eisenhower, an hour and 19 minutes. Thorndale to downtown. 57 minutes from Mannheim. Outbound 51 to Thorndale. Stevenson, an hour and 6 minutes. 3:55 to the drive. Outbound 36. The Rhine is 27 minutes from 95th to the Loop. Lakeshore Drive delays. Southbound Bryn Mawr to North Avenue. Northbound 18th to Jackson. Southbound Tri-State gummed up from 132 to 137 after a crash. Northbound heavy, Southwest Highway to the Hinsdale Oasis. The Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue Curve. Eastbound Adams Tollway is the lead to the Tri-State. The Reagan Tollway has delays. Fox River to Farnsworth. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Trust is the single most important factor in hiring a contractor. It's a big deal. It's personal. And Dependable Construction and its founder, Joe Barron, built their business over 3 decades by being just that, trustworthy. Tuck pointing, brick and roofing is Joe's specialty. You know, Joe started as a laborer and progressed to an expert tuck pointer and bricklayer. In addition to masonry and roofing, Joe and Dependable Construction have grown to become a full-service Angie's List and Better Business Bureau award-winning contractor. For brick, masonry, and roofing on residential, commercial, or industrial projects to any other type of remodeling or construction, you will deal directly with owner Joe Barron. Call Joe Barron at Dependable Construction, and guess what? Joe Barron picks up the phone. Mention AM 560 and receive a 10% discount on most jobs. Here's the number, 773-244-1091. That's 773-244-1091, or visit tuckpointchicago.net, 773-244-1091, or tuckpointchicago.net.
Chronic headaches, constant sinus infections, pain and pressure. The fatigue was overwhelming.
That's Karen. She suffered for years with chronic sinus infections. She'd go to urgent care, see her doctor.
And we would do the same thing. Steroids, antibiotics, nasal sprays.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office called the Smart Sinus Procedure.
I felt better right away. Now my sinus cavities are open. You can breathe on a constant basis and not get sinus infections. I don't get headaches anymore. I don't take naps anymore. I'm like, oh, this is miraculous.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, headaches? Find out if the Smart Sinus Procedure is right for you. It's covered by Medicare and most insurance. Set an appointment today with Smart Sinus. And with your deductibles met, now may be the best time to call. Call 847-873-8776. 847-873-8776. That's 847-873-8776.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Jim Durkin, founding partner of the Martech Group, a global market research firm based in Chicago since 1985 and a longtime customer of Signature Bank. When our business moved to our current Loop location, I recall seeing Mick O'Rourke and his two business partners, Brian Duncan and Kevin Bastuga, laying the foundation for Signature Bank. When Signature opened its doors in 2006, I was proud to move our accounts there and become a shareholder. Being in the consulting business, the Martech Group has a keen understanding of the value of relationships, trust, and attentiveness. Whether dealing with our U.S. practice or our international operations, Signature Bank is always there when we need them. That's why the Martech Group is proud to have Signature Bank as a valued business partner.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. Learn more about turning your business vision into reality. Visit signature-bank.com. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So it looks like we have another issue where at least I can agree with Juan Williams. So it's always fun to forge non-traditional alliances around policy.
Oh, my goodness.
We're pleased now to be joined by our friend Juan Williams, Fox News contributor, columnist for The Hill. Juan, thanks for being with us again. Appreciate it.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning. So now, good news. You probably heard it because you know what's going on, but I'll reiterate it anyway. Tax credit scholarships in Illinois as part of education funding bill. So you're going to have choice for all kinds of families that didn't have choice at the K through 12 level in Illinois, at least for the next 5 years.
God bless them. I mean, this is what we need. We need more, to my mind, power to the parents, because then if the parents have a choice, and I think they're always going to look out for their child first. I don't think there's any way you get away from love for your children, and allowing parents as opposed to bureaucrats to make choices about education, to find the best education, to me is just terrific. Now, I know that the critics are out there and they'll say, well, most kids go to public schools. What about parents who aren't involved, et cetera? I think it shakes up the system. So on this one, I think that we need some disruption because, to my mind, especially for poor kids, the system, the education system, doesn't give them advantage. It disadvantages them in a way that cripples them. And then, of course, we get into arguments about, social welfare and criminal justice and all the rest. But I think it starts with education. And until we get the schools right, the rest of it is just going to be trouble.
Well, we know education is the best way out of poverty, or at least I think that way. So do you think there should be a federal program where there's a chance for kids to attend better schools than their local neighborhood schools?
Of course. I mean, I think this is the root, and we've got to, shake the existing structure, Amy, to the point where you start to see new leaves, some green leaf pop up in what is right now a dry and withering system. So, to me, you could do this on a national level, I'm all for local control of schools, don't mistake me, but I think you've got to give people incentive to say, how can we do a better job? How can we make it so that the children are at the forefront, not the union deals, the contracts, not the administrators or even the teachers, who I love greatly, but you got to find good teachers. And the idea is it's all in service to giving that kid, no matter where that kid's from, a chance to become, successful.
All right, let's build on the foundation of that agreement. A recent piece that you wrote for The Hill is on gerrymandering, with you suggesting that momentum is building at the federal level against gerrymandering. I suppose that there's a lot of lip service paid to that on both sides of the aisle, but certainly Luis Gutierrez doesn't want redistricting reform. Have you ever seen his district?
No, I never have.
It's like a horseshoe right around the city to pick up Latino areas around the city. So, and both parties do it, and we know this, and this is why I think going into Illinois' governor's race next year, and part of the fight is, whoever has the governor has the inside track to control the map after the 2020 election. That's how important map making is, right?
Yeah, so they're all gaming the system, right? So this is politicians versus us, because the politicians want to retain power. So if they control the state legislature, if they can control the governor's seat, then they draw the map so that their team, or their party in this case, has the greatest opportunity to dominate. I think the most egregious example of this is Wisconsin, your neighbor there, where the Democrats won the majority of votes for the state legislature, but the Republicans ended up with a super majority in the state legislature. I don't know how you do that. I guess they use some kind of computer program.
Yeah, good cartography.
To draw the districts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. But I do think, and what I wrote about in the Hill, Dan, was I said, you know, people talk about disapproval for Congress, and it's now in the mid-70s. You know, almost everybody doesn't like what's going on in Congress. They're paralyzed. They don't get things done. They just bicker. And I said, well, look at the maps. And the maps right now, if you're a Democrat, you don't have to listen to anybody on the right. You don't have to have a conversation. If you're on the right, you don't have to listen to anybody on the left. In fact, you don't even have to listen to anybody in your own party unless they're far, far to the right and saying, I'm going to challenge you in the party primary.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
Yeah, so right now you get people like, Schwarzenegger, McCain, Kasich in Ohio saying, well, you know what, we're Republicans, but maybe it's time to just do this on a level playing field so that it's not just about party politics.
Have you ever seen Luis Gutierrez's congressional district?
Yeah.
It gerrymanders in and out of Hispanic neighborhoods to guarantee him victory every time.
That's what Dan was saying. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so, but what are the prospects? As kind of said, you know, you hear from both sides of the aisle that this is something we should do, and then there are court decisions that make it somewhat complicated because there's, you know, pro-gerrymandering decisions under the auspices of the Voting Rights Act to provide for supermajority minority districts. So, I mean, it's one thing to say it because, as you said, it's easy to understand it's the politicians picking their voters, and it's another thing to get real critical mass to get beyond lip service.
Right. And so I don't think the politicians will ever do it. But right now we're at a moment where you have some politicians saying, you know what, I think the system's a little screwy and not serving the public. Certainly it's not serving the idea that everybody has a vote and everybody has a voice and everybody gets representation. But the courts right now, Dan, are moving in. So you have the Supreme Court, for example, saying that with regard to what a lower federal court found in Texas, which was a violation of voter rights because they drew the districts in such a way as to concentrate the minorities and allow the Republicans, in this case, to dominate the state. And then the court said that was illegal. You were denying people proper representation. Now the Supreme Court's going to look at it. And they also want to look at what happened in Wisconsin that I described earlier, where the Democrats get more votes, but the Republicans get the supermajority. So all of this is at play all of a sudden in the court. So while the politicians may not do it, it may be that their hand suddenly gets forced by court action.
Well, it'd be welcome in Illinois. I mean, there's been initiatives in Illinois that have been killed by, of course, Democrats who are in a supermajority position here to reform the districts. And I don't see why we don't just kind of go to the Iowa model, have computers draw it with the principles the Supreme Court laid out, compactness, contiguousness, respect for municipal borders, and computer draws it. You have a lot more competitive elections. Both in terms of number and, you know, the quality of the competitiveness, and isn't that better?
Man, amen. I couldn't agree more. California has gone to a bipartisan commission now that draws the districts to get away from the Democrats who would dominate in California, doing the same thing out there. So to me, this seems like common sense. I mean, come on.
There's the you should
there's that argument.
You
too.
should argue the case before the Supreme Court. Just say, look, justices, hey, come on. I mean, come on
fellas.
Already.
Really, what's the matter with you guys?
All right, before we let you jump, we got to get your take, at least your prognostication on the Graham-Cassidy last best effort by Republicans to replace Obamacare, at least in some form.
Well, they have momentum at the moment. I don't think there's any getting away from the reality that, you know, the president's putting the pressure on. He's sending Vice President Pence around to put pressure on people. Some of the people who voted against the last so-called skinny bill, if you'll recall, like Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, even John McCain of Arizona seemed to be wavering. McCain's governor, Governor Ducey in Arizona, said, oh, yeah, it's okay with him, even though it looks like it would result in more people being uninsured in the state losing money. And I think the whole push here is to get a win. They feel like, you know what, they were embarrassed last time. A lot of the base said, you know, we put you up there. You would promise for years. You had so many repeal votes when Obama was in office, and now you have the power and you didn't do anything. So I think it's out of a sense of embarrassment because the actual bill itself is not any different than the last bill, and it's not an improvement in terms of more insurance, lower premiums, better coverage and better consumer protection for patients. But it's about politics, and it's about getting a win for the president at this moment.
We just have to make sure Senator John McCain has no surprises at the last second, because they need the simple majority of 51 votes.
Or
they need 50 because
50.
they get
got Pence. Yeah, right. He is one.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Juan.
No, I was just going to say, though, I wish they had a good bill, because the last bill had 12% support, so neither Republicans nor Democrats backed it, and this bill ensures even fewer people and has fewer consumer protections. But so I just wish people would get together and pass a bill that made sense for us as Americans, improve Obamacare and its failings.
He is Juan Williams, Fox News contributor, columnist for The Hill. His latest piece for The Hill is on the topic we've been talking about, gerrymandering reform. Juan, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Have a good day, Dan and Amy.
You too.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
What if hiring could be easier, less time-consuming, with more qualified candidates and faster results? What if hiring could be smarter? Thanks to ZipRecruiter, it can be. With one click, post your job to over 100 of the web's leading job boards, so you don't spend time wondering where the right candidates are searching. Then ZipRecruiter uses its smart matching technology to scan millions of active resumes and notify the most qualified candidates to apply for your job. And the ZipRecruiter dashboard makes it easy to review, rate, and contact candidates, all in one place. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. ZipRecruiter makes it simple for growing businesses of all sizes to hire the right people, no matter the industry. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
We're so confident ZipRecruiter will get you the results you need. We'll let you try it free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work. ZipRecruiter.com/work.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Meet your Illinois Democrats. One candidate for governor who's spending his time parsing the moderate disagreements he has with avowed socialists. The party of Hugo Chavez in Illinois at 8:38.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. Good morning, everyone. 74 degrees, mostly sunny skies at the moment. Chicago coming off record-breaking heat yesterday. Same story again today. Natural disasters wreaking havoc in Mexico and Puerto Rico after the country's deadliest earthquake in 32 years. Rescuers in central Mexico are racing the clock to find survivors trapped beneath crumbled buildings. Tuesday's magnitude 7.1 quake killed 245. That number may rise. In Puerto Rico, heavy rains from Maria continue to cause massive flooding.
It's hard, I have uncles and aunts over there that live in the poor sections, their house in the mountains.
Flash flooding in the mountains set according to the National Weather Service, and they're urging residents in the mountains to move to even higher ground this morning. Large eye of Maria now passing off the northeast coast of the Dominican Republic, maintaining Category 3 strength. The Equifax data breach keeps turning up new headaches for the credit reporting giant, and maybe for many worried about their credit information. Equifax has now set up a website where people can visit to find out whether their personal information was compromised. Senator John McCain could once again cast that deciding vote that decides whether a GOP health insurance reform bill passes or fails. Fellow Arizona Republican Senator Jeff Flake says he's been pressing the flesh with McCain and twisting arms about the bill.
He has spoke eloquently, I can tell you, every day. In our lunches or wherever we're meeting together, he's talking about getting back to regular order, and he sees it in the Armed Services Committee. He's the chairman. He works that process well. I admire him for it.
McCain's vote against the July so-called skinny repeal of Obamacare killed the measure, mostly because McCain thought it was out of regular order. An autopsy expected later today after a man was found dead in West Suburban Forest Park. Authorities continue the investigation, the man's identity not released. Illinois Supreme Court scheduled to rule on whether former Bolingbrook Police Sergeant Drew Peterson was properly convicted of murder in the death of his third wife. State Senator Kwame Raoul has thrown his hat into the ring to run to replace Illinois Attorney General Lisa Madigan. And a Carpentersville man faces murder charges following a deadly shooting this week at an auto body shop in Alsip. Brian Garcia is accused of shooting two employees during a botched armed robbery. Cubs' 7-game winning streak comes to an end. They lose to the Rays 8-1. Astros have a 6-game winning streak now after a 4-3 win over the White Sox. Blackhawks take on the Red Wings in a preseason affair tonight. The news service of Staples. Staples helps your business create color presentations for less. Now get 20% back in Staples rewards on color copies, manuals, and presentations designed to impress. Staples, it's pro time. Offer ends 11/4/17. Exclusions apply. Go to staples.com/20color for more. 8:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Home isn't just a place, it's the feeling of knowing you're safe. ADT lets you take that feeling with you. Learn more at ADT.com.
What if hiring could be easier, less time-consuming, with more qualified candidates and faster results? What if hiring could be smarter? Thanks to ZipRecruiter, it can be. With one click, post your job to over 100 of the web's leading job boards, so you don't spend time wondering where the right candidates are searching. Then ZipRecruiter uses its smart matching technology to scan millions of active resumes and notify the most qualified candidates to apply for your job. And the ZipRecruiter dashboard makes it easy to review, rate, and contact candidates, all in one place. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. ZipRecruiter makes it simple for growing businesses of all sizes to hire the right people, no matter the industry. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
We're so confident ZipRecruiter will get you the results you need. We'll let you try it free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work. ZipRecruiter.com/work.
You are about to hear from Dr. Douglas Howard.
After 20 years and tens of thousands of success stories, Balance of Nature is still the only pure whole food supplement available. Balance of Nature has served more than 500 million servings of fruits and vegetables. Don't accept imitations, copies, or substitutions. Our success stories are unique to Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. You'll know you have the real thing when you open the bottles and see, smell, and taste real produce.
It is worth every penny I pay because they really have made such a difference in my life. It is making me feel a whole lot better.
Even my doctor thought it was a good product.
Good health is only a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code CHICAGO.
It is 8:36. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Travel time has gone up on the inbound Kennedy. Delays from Foster to the Burns Circle. It's an hour from O'Hare to downtown. 45 minutes from Montrose. 24 in the Express. Big difference. Outbound, 33 minutes to O'Hare. Eden's just 20 minutes. Lake Cook to the Junction. Outbound, 24. Inbound Eisenhower. It is an hour and 11 minutes Thorndale to downtown, 49 minutes from Manheim, outbound 43 to Thorndale. Stevenson, an hour and 2 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 36 minutes. Ryan, 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 42 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishopford, it's a 23. Delays on the Tri-State, southbound from 21 to 137 after a crash. Northbound, 95th to 31st, up from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. Adams Tollway's the lead to the Tri-State. Reagan Tollway from the Fox River to Farnsworth, the Veterans Memorial, from I-55 much of the way to St. Charles and Army Trail to 290. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Sunny day ahead. Temperatures could hit the record-breaking mark of 93. The record set back in 1970. That was 92. Clear, very warm and humid, low 71 overnight. Currently 75. Next news coming up at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Choose M13 Graphics for all your business brochures, postcards, flyers, and more. Order online at m13.com or call 877-613-1913.
Hey, before you read about it on Facebook or Twitter, well, hear about it from your friends. Find out what today's big stories really mean with me, Sean Hannity, today at 2, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. A little Illinois politics, a lot going on. None of it's particularly good. You know that bipartisan combine that John Cass writes about in this state? Republicans and Democrats that are one big party with Republicans in the junior role. Yeah, it's real. It's real. And it persists. And Springfield hasn't been shaken up, and Illinois hasn't been turned around in the last 4 years either, partly because Rauner chose for much of his first term, and still, to some extent, to cast his lot with the combine. Let me give you an example. Lance Trover, former deputy chief of staff to Bruce Rauner.
I know Lance. What's he up to now?
He left the Rauner administration in July, fired. That's how he left. He's joining Tusk Strategies, led by Rod Blagojevich's former deputy governor, Bradley Tusk.
Oh.
Yeah, Bradley Tusk. Bradley Tusk, who previously worked for Schumer and Bloomberg before joining Blagojevich's administration.
Isn't he featured in House of Cards?
Who?
Tusk.
I don't know. I don't.
A character named Tusk is, big lobbyist.
Yeah, and Bradley Tusk also ultimately had to testify, when Blagojevich went down. Yeah, well, he was there in the inner circle with John Wyma and all of the other men and women of always in the Blagojevich corruption trial. The lead informant of Blagojevich, John Wyma, went from confidant to informant, ultimately inched prosecutors to the governor's most recent and most brazen alleged attempts to trade political favors for campaign cash. That was ABC News reporting at the time about John Wyma. And you can't get much closer than they are to each other. Capital Facts publisher Rich Miller said, Wyma's a lobbyist who's never been in Springfield lobbying legislators. He virtually only lobbies Blagojevich at his home. That's Wyma. Wyma and Tusk had worked together for Chuck Schumer. He was Chuck Schumer's chief of staff when Tusk served as Schumer's communications director. Yeah. So Tusk and Wyma. And now one of the very bad PR flacks for both Mark Kirk and Bruce Rauner has joined Bradley Tusk's firm. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, look out for each other, huh?
Isn't that interesting? Here's another one. This is the media. John Patterson at the Daily Herald is John Cullerton's spokesman, right? Mm-hmm. Senate President. And Abden Palish from the Sun-Times. Worked for Quinn. Now he's Susanna Mendoza's comms person. And I could go on and on and on. Carrie Lester, who writes for the Daily Herald. Right. She covered political coverage for the Daily Herald, right?
She worked for the AP for a while.
She's girlfriend, maybe fiance, I don't know, girlfriend to Michael Casper, Madigan's attorney. No conflicts there. And then this one, Minority Leader Jim Durkin hired Mike Maloney, who is former policy advisor to Governor Rauner. Then he left. And now he's at the House Republicans. Mike Mahoney shares a residence with Amanda Vanicki. Amanda Vanicki is...
Trying to connect the dots here, Dan.
Well, it's not that difficult. She's
the soap opera over here.
She's the PBS State House reporter, the WTTW Channel 11 State House reporter. Amanda Vanicki, girlfriend of Mike Mahoney, lived together in Wicker Park. No conflict there. Bipartisan combine. And the bipartisan combine is not just big government Republicans, Vichy Republicans, and craven Chicago Democrats. It's also the compromised Chicago and Springfield press corps. That's part of the combine. And if you don't understand that, there are exceptions out there. John Cass, Kristen McQuarrie, others. Some of the television reporters. Charles Thomas used to be one at Channel 7 until he retired. Flannery, that just go for the story, and that's fine. They do their jobs. But there's others that are material participants in big government gambits by both parties. The entire Chicago Democrat Party, which is dominated by Chicago. That's why it's the Chicago Democrat Party in the state. And substantial elements of the Republican Party. Like those 15 House Republicans, Jim Durkin loyalists, right? Those 15 House Republicans who voted for the massive tax increases without spending reforms. And if you don't know the players in the press corps and how they operate, and if you don't know the players in government, and if you believe personnel is policy, which it is, then if you don't get it, then you don't get it. If you don't get who these people are and their interconnections, then you don't get it, which is why we talk about it. Nancy Kimmel, the Uber lobbyist, former Topeka chief of staff, who's been a lobbyist for the last 3 years, working out of Governor Rauner's office while these clowns, Trover and Mahoney and Goldberg and the rest of them, the rest of the Combine members, were there, working out of the governor's office as a lobbyist, which is why she was the lobbyist de jure for institutional interests in Springfield for the last couple of years, because she had that access and sold that kind of access. And that's how she amassed $17 billion worth of contracts for her clients. And the sad thing is, there are people that are philosophically pure on both sides. And there's such an opportunity for the Republican Party in this state to present a clear contrast with the other side. Let me give you an example what the other side is beset by. Daniel Biss, state senator from the North Shore, one of the candidates for governor. He had a Facebook Live event earlier this week, and he was asked about his switching in and switching out of his lieutenant governor running mate candidate. He had this avowed socialist alderman in the city of Chicago, Carlos Ramirez Rosa, was his original pick.
Right, then he dropped him.
He dropped him because
Why?
Because, in part because, I think in large measure, it was because Ramirez Rosa is anti-Israel and a supporter of the BDS movement, the boycott, divestment, and sanction on Israel. And so, like, Brad Schneider, the congressman from the North Shore, was going to withdraw his endorsement of this and so on and so forth. So he flipped out Ramirez Rosa for a more palatable socialist, a female state representative from the Rockford area, Leticia Wallace. The great thing is, in his Facebook Live, in responding to the question about the running mate change, he said, look, I don't believe, talking about Carlos Ramirez Rosa as a member of Democrat Socialists of America. Biss said, my attitude was, I don't believe in guilt by association. I'm not going to participate in calling someone out because they're a socialist. No, of course not. Why would you? You're one. I disagree with that. I think we should welcome people who are from active progressive groups. That's how he describes a socialist. But I wanted to make sure I was comfortable with the positions taken by the organization, or at least if not, feel free to talk to them about it. There are things I have modest disagreements with respect to the Democrat Socialists of America, says Dan Biss, candidate for governor. But I could easily see both sides. Soft-pedaling the socialism as well as, arguably, the anti-Semitism exhibited by Carlos Ramirez Rosa. That's where the Democrats are right now. That's the center of gravity in the Democrat. Remember, Bernie Sanders, everybody's focused on Madigan. Bernie Sanders got nearly 50% of the primary vote in 2016. He almost beat Hillary in Illinois. Mm-hmm. So Dan Biss has a lane to be the Democrat nominee. And because of the weakness of Rauner, potentially a lane to be the governor. He'll raise the money to compete, I believe. I don't think he has the political skills of a Bernie Sanders to rally the Antifa base of the Democrat Party, but maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't need it, given who he's up against. Sean from Elmwood Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Dan, I got to tell you, you hit a nerve. Cass and McQueary are excluded because they're in print, number one. It's different. But as I watched the news last night, I watched that Flannery character, whether it's Flannery or the guy with the body like the Amish wife, Gowdy, or the sure, I can drive, don't worry about it, I'm not that drunk, Savini. These guys
or Rick Pearson at the Tribune, the lead political reporter there, drunk.
Eunuchs to corruption. They sit there without the genitals to report on it.
No.
They're protected.
No. Yeah, they're like Rick. I'll give you a specific name. They're not eunuchs. Rick Pearson, for example, the longtime lead political reporter of the Tribune, he's a material participant. That's a difference.
Now, Dan, that story that you broke it. About what is that 400-pound woman that looks like Cobblepot? What's her name?
Nancy Kimmel.
Nancy Kimmel. $17 billion in 3.5 years. The lobbyists in Illinois, it's the greatest gig in town because you have free range. They're fixing everything, the outcome of everything in both parties. And a guy on a radio station is the best hope to describe it. When you have local news that's running cover for it, Amazon is being fluffed as this is a great thing. None of them talk about the programs designed specifically to tax us and give it to Amazon, give it to the rich corporations. The poor are financing the rich, and it's being reported on as a positive thing. That's how you know. You're done in Illinois. You're done because our investigative reporters are in on the scam. They're good for nothing.
Thanks for the call, Sean. And here's the thing. So the opportunity present and the brand that Rauner created for himself in 2014 as a candidate, 2013 and 14 when he ran as the outsider who's going to shake things up, take on the established power in both parties and blah, blah, blah. And what is he doing now against the backdrop of that? And $16 billion backlog of bills and all the tax increases and all of the deterioration that has occurred in the last 3 years in the quality of life in this state, people who've left and continue to. He's publicly dithering about whether or not he's going to sign or veto House Bill 40, which is legislation he previously committed to the House Republican caucus, at least the pro-life conservatives in the House Republican caucus. And there's a lot of big government Republicans who are also pro-lifers in the Republican caucus. He committed to them that he would veto public funding of abortion. And like sanctuary state, public funding of abortion is opposed by 70% of the general electorate. You know, people pro-choice say, yeah, pro-choice, fine, but don't make me pay for it.
Right.
I mean, a state that's got $16 billion in bills, and he wants to create a new encumbrance where we're going to pay for somebody else's
Is he for
choice,
sure
if you
going to
will.
be doing that?
No, he's publicly dithering about it. He committed that he would veto it. Now I don't know what I'm going to do. So it would be a reneging on a promise that was made both to the Republican caucus and others, pro-life, pro-family leaders. And it would also be just terrible politics, even if you just look at strictly electoral politics and the optics of that. All of these burning oil derricks. And this is where Rauner chooses to, publicly ruminate. I mean, this is a guy who it almost seems like he's trying to get to zero. He is literally working his way down. I can't believe it's purposeful to being a man without a country, except maybe the North Shore cocktail set. And maybe that's where he belongs.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. Your boy's got breasts. That's how a reporter for Australia's version of 60 Minutes confronted the mother of 12-year-old Patrick Mitchell. Patrick thought he wanted to be a girl, so naturally Patrick's mom rushed out to get him an estrogen prescription. Problem is, Patrick changed his mind. I began to realize I was actually comfortable in my body. Every day I just felt better, said Patrick. It turns out a pre-adolescent child didn't have it all figured out. What a society extols, it begets. According to Gallup, Americans believe approximately 1/4 of the U.S. population is LGBT. That's at least 6 times the actual number of those so identified. The ubiquity of celebrity profiles, characters in movies, TV, theater, and the like of LGBT persons distorts their prevalence in the public's mind. This is not a comment on tolerance or respect, both of which should be afforded every person. Rather, it is a comment on celebrating that which should be concerning, because doing so leads an otherwise loving parent to forfeit their adult judgment and put her 12-year-old in charge of major, life-altering decisions, because doing so leads an otherwise loving parent to hurt their child, as Patrick's mom did.
Looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing mortgage? Then you need to do what I did and call David Hochberg over there at Pearl Mortgage. He's the vice president, don't you know, of lending at Pearl Mortgage. True or false? It's easier financing with your current lender than it is refinancing with David and his team. False. Your current lender rates and closing costs are lower than David's rates and closing costs. False again. David constantly receives calls from frustrated and disgruntled listeners who wish they called him before refinancing with their current lender because either their loan blows up or their current lender doesn't return any of their calls or emails. David also wants you to realize your existing lender has limited flexibility in the interest rate they quote their borrowers, whereas David has over 80 lenders who will compete for your business. Let's review. It's not easier refinancing with your current lender, and you should always, always, always call David first, 312-751-1333, or visit am560david.com. David helped me and thousands of AM560 listeners, but he can't help you if you don't call. 312-751-1333, or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee, 4358 NMLS 19186.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
Oh, I had my joints all ached. My sciatic nerve was really bad. Like 10 hours, my eyes were so tired and heavy and almost burning. And then when I woke up in the morning, there was this nagging pain. I mean, it hurt to open them. And just in a week, like, I don't have the nagging pain anymore. My joints stopped hurting, and I'm in wood season. I'm lugging wood right now, and I'm not hurting. So that's, like, amazing for me. I'm usually really suffering. It's pretty effective. And so now, like I said, my husband and I are both taking it, and he even said his joints aren't aching as much, and he's feeling better.
Good health is only a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Gentlemen, when it comes to your health, do you know your numbers? You may know your blood pressure and cholesterol, but do you know your testosterone and prostate numbers? I know my numbers. Low T made it easy. You walk in, take a simple blood test, and with the convenience of their on-site lab, I was able to get my results in minutes. And in honor of Prostate Health Month, Low T Center is offering a $50 testosterone and prostate level test in September. So gentlemen, if you don't know your numbers, haven't met your deductible, or don't have insurance, you should take advantage of this limited time offer. I know at Low T Center they will take great care of you. Plus, it's quick, easy, and you'll get your results in about 20 minutes. Do yourself a favor and call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Prof sent you. That's me. Again, the number, 312-239-3427. 312-239-3427. And in honor of Prostate Health Month, Low T Center is offering a $50 testosterone and prostate level test in September. Call now or visit them online at lowtcenter.com.